everyone, and welcome to the Wileyverse.
Purplish looking one.
We are an actual play stream on Twitch that does D&D 5th edition in the Forgotten Realms universe. Specifically, this campaign, called the Cardinal Bond, is a bunch of mercenaries working in Baldur's Gate.
Baldur Gates.
So we're getting set up, getting our stream going.
And this is our commentary over here too.
Oop, yep, it's still there, isn't it? Shit, no, it's not. Whoa. All of this is wrong. Phone's off. Did we get DJ Magic Dragon on?
Sure did.
Sure didn't, bro. Yeah, let's get this thing.
You doing a kid?
No.
Why?
No. That was your fault.
Is that good?
He's so sweet, but he won't stop climbing up the back of me.
You sprayed him.
I did. I felt worse because I had to go grab him because he was like latched on my back, and when I pulled him around, I literally just had him by his tiny little head, and I was like, I'm so sorry.
Just spray him. He'll be fine.
It's yeah.
It makes a big difference.
It's just when your back is turned and he's already launched midair.
Oh, really? All right. Is DJ Metroid on? That's fine. There we go. All right. So this is Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition in the Forgotten Realms world. Our characters are residents or misfits of Baldur's Gate. This is not into Avernus, Descent into Avernus, but more of just an exploration of Baldur's Gate and its lawlessness and opportunity. With me, as always, here at the end is Mitch, playing Erevar the Swashbuckler, former pirate, now without a boat, trying to lead this unruly band in his in this mercenary endeavor. I assume is the new guy, fucking new guy, Kalen.
The newest guy.
The newest guy.
There's somebody not even a guy yet.
I'm on my way.
This is Kaylin. She is playing Loridov, a Eladrin monk of the astral self. So she has brought her elemental or primordial twin with her from the Feywild that manifests around her while she fights. This guy over here in the corner, as always, is Dayton. He is playing Jordarai, a ranger horizon walker, also an Eladrin from the Feywild. Loridov and Jordarai came from the same place. He is a fiendish expert and horizon walker who knows about the planes and their connections and all the weirdness, which sets us up right into the campaign of the Cardinal Bond. Baldur's Gate is in a precarious situation right now. It is under siege, seemingly, from maladies, pirates out on the open sea, bandits on their trade routes, crime and violence on the rise inside, rumors of lycanthropy. A Gnoll horde has struck the region and spread the Flaming Fist, the security, the army, and the police force of Baldur's Gate super thin, and the Cardinal Bond has kind of happenstanced because of this into a thick plot. They got hired to go clear out a farmstead on the countryside from Knoll activity, and from there they found some unusual coins that led them on a breadcrumb chase that led to a plot to try to find a portal to the lower planes and the fiends that live there by music was like intense, and then I failed to act upon it.
The Huffers.
The Huffers, and maybe more, maybe less, who knows, that are trying to enact a dark ritual during the Blood Moon Festival, which is only a scant 3 days away, to pretty much open a portal to hell into Baldur's Gate directly. They are currently at the Blushing Mermaid Inn after a surprise ambush,
AKA a regular ambush.
I mean, surprise ambush. It is a regular ambush. It was a pretty devastating one. You guys were on the ropes. Someone took a nap for a little bit.
Who would that be?
I don't know.
I think his name's Aerosuck.
Probably some weak ass.
Hey, as soon as I woke up, I ended up taking her out in one shot.
A group that they have encountered before called the Huffers, which are extraplanar humanoids that work with demons to ply the river Styx.
It's dead to me.
But they succeeded in one and have caught their leader, someone that they already know from a previous episode, wants to meet very badly because she had ordered the execution of his father. So that's kind of where we're being. You want to fill any other pertinent details or anything you guys feel are important to this session? I mean, you guys all know where we're at.
Yeah, the mermaid.
The Blushing Mermaid.
Well, basically the reason we did you say that we are bringing her in alive is for money.
We hold
For
her
money.
back.
I'm
Was
sure.
it 100 gold?
It's 100 gold. 100
So
gold.
we did. One of their members did get away. Correct.
No.
No, we did. We got him at the end.
You got him
right?
as
You got him at the
What?
end, but he
What?
was. You couldn't get to him to loot him or do
That's
anything.
fine,
So
yeah.
he's dead in a street over from you.
That's fine. I'm just making sure that I can remember if we actually killed him or not. 'Cause I know he fled and I thought I went after him, but I wasn't sure if we were to catch him or not.
Jordarai says he killed him. It looked pretty lethal as the hit, but he got hit and disappeared over the.
Were you unconscious? I killed like 3
Well, I was
people.
gonna say, was it dead like me? Because I came back. Is he like all the way dead or just kind of partially dead?
No, I should say that. I am also running the rogue Maeve, who is of the trickster domain, goddess Timora.
Listen, it was just a nap trap and it worked. I was like, I'm taking a nap. Oh, no, I'm not napping. Stab.
Ah,
I
stab.
feel like I should have a 5-month subscription little thing going on right now. I can't
Do you
find it.
do you not?
None of us do.
That right there. You have a 4-month subscriber.
My payment just came out, so I thought new one would happen.
You actually have to. Once you hit 5 months, the icon changes.
So like
So
when
you
I have
renew-
it for 6 months, it'll give me my 5
No, once
months
you've
one?
renewed it the 5th month,
No,
you
no,
complete
no.
a full 5th month.
Not even renewed it. If you put a year on, you won't see the year badge until you get to a year.
That's what I mean.
You'll be at a 1st-month badge for the 1st month, and then the 2-month badge for the 2nd month, and the 5-month badge of the 5th month. This says you've only been here for 4 months.
I don't think any of us have a.
Oh, so I
You,
haven't-
oh, sorry. You have the
haven't-
4-month subscriber, but you've only been here for 3 months.
Oh.
Yeah. So you actually have to physically, to see the
Complete-
badge.
right.
It only changes when it physically happens. You can't just buy a year and all of a sudden get the year badge. You actually, once you come back in a year, you'll see that.
That's what I
badge.
mean. So I paid for my 5th month, so I'll get my 4-month little thing here pretty soon.
Yes, which I don't know. I don't think. Is there anything for 4 month?
Well, normally it'll be like.
No, I think it was
Something,
like
something.
3, 6,
1, 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that makes
So.
sense. Sorry.
If I'm not mistaken.
Right.
That's it.
And why aren't
That's
you a
right. Those were
moderator?
for my birthday.
We all have kind of like the same style.
Ooh.
I got an extra D6 for.
Did you just have a
Whoa,
purple?
whoa. Oh, did you see those that I got up?
What was
No.
that for?
Have you seen the new dice? Show off the new dice
Are
there.
those black and gold?
Show to the new dice.
Check it out. With these. Where's the key? There we go. They're kind of gray.
Maybe Erevar will be
Kinda
useful for
And
us.
I got these neon. There's the pink ones that look
Come
really
on,
good.
show the.
I'm just
Can't
kidding.
even.
They're like the other guys have, but mine are black and gold for thieving. They are very nice. Thank you very
So
much.
the 18? Or no?
Report that, ye girl.
Please don't report me. This is my life.
This is all I have.
It's weird because you don't have the moderator icon,
I
and
never made her a moderator.
You try to do
You
it.
did.
I'm
Try one
trying.
time.
Like I'm on the website, logged in,
It's not really that big a deal. Though.
and clicking on it. So you're a 4-month subscriber. You have the 3-month badge. So that's what it says. But when I click on you, for whatever reason, it doesn't have like the moderator stuff. I think.
In
Oh,
2013.
it's supposed to say yeet, but it says yet. Good job,
Moderate that
autocorrect.
shit yet.
Moderate that shit yet. Not yet, girl.
Not yet, girl. Not yet, a girl.
Yeah.
Not yet, girl.
Maybe I have too many mod. Oh, is that it? Mod user.
You
There
can
you
all-
go.
You can only have
Nice.
9.
Now you're a
Let me
mod.
try to say
Hey.
something. I'm gonna say something.
Okay. Whew.
I'll be the first
All
to do
this prep.
Yeah.
There you
There
go.
it is.
Oh, it even appeared on. No, it didn't. Okay,
One of
so
those crowns.
what are what?
What
Oh,
were the
those
rounds?
Crown is
are
for Prime.
Prime
Oh.
versus a regular.
Oh yeah.
So
So that's actually like a bad thing to have that crown.
actually, it's a good thing because we get more money from
Oh,
the
that's right,
Prime
we get more money from
subscriptions
that. We get
than
more money
regular.
from that.
That's
Mine is
crazy.
through. Oh no, you're right.
Also, the crown disappears if you're a Twitch Prime member in general. It doesn't matter if you're
Yeah,
a Prime
if you don't-
subscriber or
You don't have to
anything,
follow or
you don't.
anything. It'll just show you your Prime.
It's just cool seeing all those badges. It's different.
Yep.
I like it.
I wish, like, you know, if we could hit it big, we could have multiple emotes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so
We need more emotes, guys.
I specifically,
I feel like you wasted it on Devil Mage.
I specifically joined Geek and Sundry because
They have great content. We'd love to see more of them.
oh, I love it. They're pushing it. But
No,
I
you go
like
on.
that little
You go on.
face. I feel like
global.
You go on.
Sorry, everyone at home. I'm
The
showing
names,
them
Hot
emotes.
Pocket,
Hot Pocket.
Blardner,
I think these are them.
Colcha, Lesbian.
No,
Pride.
because I have those.
Really?
Nice.
There's one that has a D20.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
No, it's, you haven't gone past it. It's up higher, I think.
Weird.
Maybe you haven't
Yeah,
resubscribed to them.
Maybe my subscription ran out. Let me do it over here real quick.
I love that Kapow snake. It's like my
So
favorite
frequently
combo.
used Wileyverse, Overwatch, unlocked,
I did it last
global.
Did you?
stream in honor of you,
Well, that's nice. I only got to watch
What'd you
about
do?
2 or 3 minutes of that.
Maybe I'm off.
and I also
Need to
told
go back?
everybody what to fat camp.
All right.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
What'd
the
you do?
best.
Told everybody last week that Mitch went to fat camp.
And he's still fat. It's weird.
It sucked.
Well, I only went for 1 week.
I went to LA, which is like
Oh,
get fat camp.
I was gonna say I was
I'm
gonna
sorry,
I was
Las
gonna say
Vegas. LV. I went to LV.
to Alve.
Get fat camp. That's a camp I could get down with.
Las Vegas King.
No, get fat camp.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you guys have you're rough. Like you have 1 hit point
I'm fine.
down there, so he's not doing shit. He's kind of staggering along. So you guys took tarps and you took like sacks and stuff like that, and bagged up your booty and wrapped up Helnia. To take her to the Blushing Mermaid. So you two are probably carrying Helnia between the both of you. And Maeve is trying to keep him up while also like carrying the sack of swords and crossbows and bows and all that stuff.
Come here. bitch ass have full hit points.
You never got hit. You never got attacked.
I don't.
See, that's what happens when you're the range guy. Yeah.
Can I stick my dagger in his leg just so he feels like the rest of us?
This is how it feels, buddy.
Try.
I just now know that like I really need to do more opponents. Like I try to do like the more powerful single opponents, but
Drug dealing monkey.
drug dealer monkey
Awesome.
tier 1. I'm not gonna
not to give away his real name, but we know him.
Yeah, we know him,
React
and I'm not gonna go out and say this for legit, but so we get paid out at $100, and we were at 98.
Ooh.
So I think you may have just put us over to our first payout.
You are the
Sweet.
chosen ones.
Pretty dope. Drug dealing monkey, you're the
Is it
man.
based monthly though?
Aw.
No.
He accidentally subscribed.
Wow. Get out. Get out.
That's
I'm
called
gonna.
No,
Like,
get the little.
where's my kick?
You see that little Wileyverse emote next to your name now? You're now a subscriber. You start every session with
You match
advantage.
my shirt.
Advantage can be used to help any one of us re-roll, or you can give it to the NPCs if you want to see.
By
the monsters
advantage, you
or
mean
re-rolls.
inspiration.
What did I say?
It's true. It's advantage, but it's inspiration.
Inspiration gives
We
you
call it
advantage.
inspiration. It gives you
inspiration.
It gives you advantage.
It gives you advantage.
Oh, speaking of which,
Yes,
2 people start with inspiration tonight.
I did my homework. I did my homework very last
You told me 2 days ago. It was like,
Very
it's
last
coming
minute.
tomorrow. All right.
I was on my
Technically,
way
we both
back
forgot
to
yesterday,
the-
and then
back to the bar after I went home, and it was like my phone was like.
So it was a
Purposeful
purposeful subscribe,
Did it okay.
accidental. Yeah. But I'm glad it was. I'm kind of glad it was someone that we know, instead of like just some raid that came in and someone subscribing and whatever. Like, that's pretty cool. So.
Right.
All right.
All right. You guys have done the secret knock. You've gone into the back entrance of the Blushing Mermaid, where Squint awaits you. Squint is a horrifically ugly halfling. He is just unabashedly ugly. It's not good at all. And he's so on board with the fact that he is ugly. He knows it. But as you guys come in, you've got, you're carrying a whole bunch of stuff that's not yours and blood-soaked. You're carrying a person who's unconscious, and he doesn't bat an eye because
Just a regular old Wednesday.
yeah, that's Tuesday for the Blushing Mermaid. It's Tuesday. And he's like, oh, right. And see, let's go down right here. And he points you down to the stairway down. Get you back into a private room. Asks if you need manacles or medical equipment.
Shouldn't we be bringing her down to
You don't want to bring her
Stormbreaker?
like you don't want to bring her right into a room that's publicly available. He's trying to get you off somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, we would definitely take the manacles in just in case, because she's bound, but we don't know her prowess once she awakes. So, yeah. So a set of manacles would be prudent, my good sir.
So
It is.
Hey. Yeah.
so they get you to a room that has manacles on the wall. For
I'm
you
into
to,
this. Wait.
Lord of's like,
What?
yeah. Like, wait, what? Jordan Rise. And Squint was like, I gotta get back to the door. I'll send Miz down for you.
Sweet. You're like your Shadowrun character right now. You eat fucking sandwiches.
Yep, it's Troll Sandwich Eater over here.
What was your troll's name?
Trolls gotta eat too, guys.
I don't remember.
Barefoot dude in the suit.
Did you see his name last stream?
No, I didn't get it. I literally was just on there for a second.
Gold
He
Bloom.
bloomed us last week.
Oh, did he?
Not soft hair.
Is that still on or did that die?
It is on.
Everything dies eventually, Wiley.
I mean,
Wah, wah.
okay. All right.
It's gonna die if it's supposed
I'm
to
actually
go.
kind of glad that I don't have to spell
Yeah,
it
I
out.
think it's still playing. It's just the music's very subtle.
It is without K. Doesn't matter, you can't read it anyway.
Yeah, still fine. Alright. So, is there anything you're going to do with Helnya and all the stuff you have in the room before anyone else gets here? You're totally alone.
She's literally manacled.
She's manacled against the wall.
We can't go and sell any of this stuff, right?
You don't know what half the stuff was. The fact that you were going to the Blushing Mermaid was to identify the stuff you found on the knolls. You were coming here to get stuff identified and see if any new information had occurred.
What are we trying to get identified? I don't
So
know.
you had a quiver, you had...
chain with a moon pendant.
So...
Yeah.
Does Helnya have hair?
Yes.
And now we also have a long sword that seems to be... We have a long sword now, too.
Take a
It's
look of her
also
hair.
sort of magical looking.
You have two long swords, one's silvered, one's
appears to have
super high quality, could be magical. I'm not for certain. I'm 90% for certain that no one in this party has proficiency in long swords.
I don't think so either. So I'd like to kind of ruffle through these notes in a bag.
Oh, good for you. Make me a investigation check.
Ew. My first roll, my first dice. What am I looking for? Sorry, investigation?
Investigation. As you're researching this.
Very good.
So I had my first character last week with prestidigitation.
Natural 20!
Did you just natural 20 your first roll?
First roll, baby.
Nice.
My luck has turned.
Inspiration.
Ooh, I already have it. Erudition.
Erudition. You're the lowest of the group, by the way.
That's okay. I was the highest last night.
Actually, you're not the lowest of the group because Maeve has nothing. But I give Maeve whatever the hell I want. So
Yeah.
She's my character. Alright. So, natural 20, you start looking through this. Almost immediately, you know exactly what's going on here. First off, you get the entire cipher book of the Huffers. So, this breaks their thieves' cant. This breaks their how they communicate with each other in code. You have the whole thing. Well, that computer's spinning up. It's hard working. Oh, hey, Drug Dealer Mike, you're still here. Let us know if the audio and video start becoming out of sync. We really need to know that. All right.
That's the only thing I find of any kind of note in there.
There's a little bit more. Hold on. Just bring it back up. So you find the entire codebook for the Huffer ciphers and some personal notes and other things that basically say that they were there to find this basin and have this kedge anchor be set down into the basin to allow boats from the abyss to dredge themselves into the prime material plane.
You won't be able to read this.
They don't know where the basin is, but they had enough people that they were going to search it out that night because it only opens on the night of the blood moon. But if they could get that kedge anchor down there with the chain going through, it would lock it open.
Gotcha.
So they would have a permanent portal for demons to pour through into Baldur's Gate if they got that thing down there.
Sweet. That's the fucking whole thing we needed to know right now.
And you're sitting there, you're looking through the ciphers, you're decoding her own notes, and you're discovering all of this.
This session is not sponsored by White Claw.
But we're available.
We are definitely available. And White Claw, we have reached affiliate status if you want to plug some ads in there.
Yeah. So the other thing you see there is that from counts and other things, there's probably still 10 Huffers in the city. You had the map, you had marked that they had fallback hideouts, but those fallback hideouts weren't just fallback, they actually had people manning them. So there's still Pinhuffers out there, you don't know what their leadership is like, and if they have a second in command that's going to take over after Helnia. But the Huffers are still out there. They're still possibly a threat.
Okay.
While he's decoding the book, anything you guys are doing?
I already told you what I'm doing.
Yep, you get that. You can write it on your character sheet and equipment.
What are you doing?
I took a lock of her hair.
And that's some serious shit right there.
You know, some killers take teeth. Some take other things.
Are you going
I
like...
braid the enemy's hair into my own hair.
Oh, that's awesome.
Gross.
Hey.
That's awesome. Alright, what are you doing?
Eating a sandwich.
I mean, you have a bunch of bows, crossbows, bolts, all this kind of stuff. You also have that quiver, and you know what that quiver does.
It's true. But I don't need like the crossbows and all that, but I could take the...
You can take them because... So the light crossbows, anyone in this party can use those. And you have a compartment that can hold multiples of them.
The actual bows themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I thought it was just like the...
There's staves. There's one that holds staves, this, blah, blah, blah. But you can, like, put 2 crossbows into that.
The quiver is a ranged weapon bag of holding, basically, right?
His quiver is a yes. It is
holding for range
for ranged weapons, and they're like like all the bolts, all the bow, all the arrows. It's specifically designed for arrows.
Would it
and archery?
Would it technically hold like daggers or anything that he could throw?
No.
Hey, tabletop.
What's up, tabletop? What's going on?
I'm only listening to
I missed your Monday stream because I was in Vegas, but I'm pretty sad about that. How was that Zweihander talk?
Also, just so you know, he calls his bathroom Shea Vegas.
That they put out a mobile PDF, which is actually super exciting to me. The fact that they designed a PDF specifically to use on phones and tablets.
Nice. And
they put that out for their game book. It looks so cool. Yeah, I have it. I haven't downloaded it yet. I'm super excited about it. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they beat the guys over at Eclipse Phase to this. Because Eclipse Phase has been super progressive about the digital presence of their game. So I think it's very, very cool that they put that out there.
Monday.
It was so cool. I'm sorry I missed that episode, but...
It should be. It's the last time you go to Vegas.
It's the last time. No, it's not. Every year. Once a year, I go to Vegas. I mean, I have a friend that lives up there, so...
So, Jordan, are you doing anything at all?
Yes.
I mean, I guess I'll take...
Stuff all the arrows in. He took 3, so you have 17 that you can put in your thing.
So
you can
take as many arrows as I can,
which
and
is,
I'll take...
So you're taking this. Give yourself 17 arrows.
And you're taking 3 back.
Are you taking any of the bolts? Are you taking the crossbows?
Yeah, there's 60 bolts, which I think you can
There's
stuff.
100 bolts.
Oh yeah.
We have, yeah.
And they shot some, so there's just under 100 bolts, which you can stuff.
I'm gonna put 82. You have 82 bolts.
How many can you fit in that quiver?
Giggity.
60 arrows, bolts, or somewhere out there.
Okay.
So.
Sweet tabletop.
So-
If we call on you, we'll be around.
Awesome. If you have any questions or want any comments or polls, we're here for you. So you can fill up the rest with the bolts. I mean, so you can hand them out and have backup for Maeve. Maeve uses her crossbow a lot.
And then how many...
So there was a longbow. There was
sorry. So what we got to combine was 2 light crossbows, a longbow, a short bow, 3 scimitars, a mace and an axe, 2 heavy crossbows, 82 bolts. There's 17 arrows minus the 3 that I took, obviously, so that's 17 total. We got 15 gold, 20 putrid silver.
Okay.
So those 2 short bows and that long bow you can unstring and put in the big stav area, which I think holds 10?
6.
6. So that's a backup longbow,
That's fine, I got it.
2 short bows, and you carry your longbow. So that's 4 bows, and I will let you put I'll let you put 2 light crossbows or a heavy crossbow in there for that last
We didn't
slot.
get any light crossbows. We only had.
No, you didn't? Okay, so I'll let you put a heavy crossbow in there if you want.
Okay.
You can just, fold it back, crank it back and throw it into that thing and it'll go in.
This is really intense music for what we're doing.
Are you taking a heavy crossbow?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's taking the heavy crossbow, he's taking the longbow, and he's taking both short bows.
Okay, so I'm gonna take those off. We only had one.
Well,
oh no, sorry, we did have two light crossbows. Sorry, that was the first thing I got.
2 light crossbows,
We have,
right.
Yeah, you were right. We have 2 light crossbows.
So you could take
and 2
a-
heavy.
So you want to take the 2 light crossbows or you take the 1 heavy crossbow? The only person here that can use the heavy crossbow is you.
Do you want one?
Everyone else can use a light crossbow, but they all have, these 2 have them.
No, let's take a heavy crossbow.
Okay.
So you're gonna take
So
one.
don't erase them.
I'm not. He puts
Just
one in his inventory. This is
mark
this is
them
swag.
some
That's
way.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
This is taken. Add a heavy crossbow to your inventory even if you don't equip it. And are you taking light crossbows or not?
He's not taking the light
Okay,
crossbows.
just 1 heavy
He's
crossbow.
taking the short bows.
Do you have enough space for those 17 arrows and those 82 bolts? Do you want those?
He's taking all 17 arrows,
Okay, so
17 arrows and then
60 bolts.
So add those arrows and add those bolts so that I can make adjustments here on the swag bag.
Sorry for all the
This is what happens.
bookkeeping.
No. This is.
No, this is
Dungeons
it
and
is
Dragons.
interesting. I think this is interesting because it's not normally a thing I do in
I
games.
was gonna say
is
we
that
don't normally
minutia.
do this, but since I'm
But
keeping
you need
notes
to,
and
like,
stuff, and why not learn?
Everything
how to
is
do it?
money. Everything is
Yes.
something to barter with. So, you're doing your code breaking, and you're also like, oh yeah, here's this, here's that, and he's taking that stuff. You've unraveled all the treasure. I feel that you have taken the ring off of Helnia.
Mhm.
You're not, even if it's a normal ass ring.
Oh, it's already in my stuff.
You're not gonna chance that she has a magic ring that may get her out of her situation. So you take that off, and it's in the stuff. You have those 2 long swords. You have that cloak that was oddly cut.
It's shark skin looking.
It's shark skin looking, and it's oddly cut. It's a hoodie kind of cloak that has like wraparound arms.
I would like to get these things identified eventually.
Yes.
But we're waiting until.
And then you also had, I think it was pretty much, the putrid silver, which you know is bad.
We had 20 of those all together.
50.
20 is what I have written.
Anyone want to make some perception checks about that? You want a natural 20 and catch them again trying to steal
And
from
then
the
we
party?
have a chain with a crescent moon pendant on it as well.
That was back from the...
We still have that from the Knolls.
damn it.
What'd you get there?
It's perception, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Where's the natural 20?
Maeve dice.
Before I do that, Mitch, can you hand me a letter white claw that's not a lime?
No, I'm not going to hand you nothing until you do your perception.
22.
Yeah.
All there are is lines from my perception.
Except for pretty much
Roll again.
everything else except
Roll
for those
again.
two.
You have advantage.
Just
Roll
advantage.
again.
So, what'd you get?
15.
The 22, like,
2.
he remembers that there was more of that putrid silver than...
So there's 50, then that's fine.
Then there's the 30 gold.
15 gold is what I have written. But you guys pass your perceptions.
Okay.
That's like,
I'm assuming keeping... Well, are you keeping that putrid silver, or are you trying to get rid of it? You know that it can
We're
be...
gonna get rid of it,
you know
actually.
that it can be followed by demons.
But I can't hold it right this... we're doing something right now. I can't
No, I mean,
sneak
yeah,
off
yeah.
to use it.
You can't sneak off, but I'm like, is this something that you're going to be like... You want to keep beyond this...
My only problem is
Is someone
that
gonna come in this room and mug us right now?
No.
we're in a
Well-
fucking adventuring.
Well, yes, kind of.
Sort. It's always.
You're going to deal with the guild
We're
here
at
in
the
a second.
mermaid. This is what always happens.
Yeah.
So here's the issue with the putrid silver, just so you guys know. I'll lay this down. We can skinny this. Due to the nature of my dealings with other people and stuff like that, I've already given some of this silver to somebody else, and that means that the demons are going to come looking for them either now or later, and then the jig is kind of going to be up if all they do is take that stuff one more time, because that's all they did last time was just take that silver.
Yeah, right.
And they try to attack the people that did it.
This means that two
eventually
things.
that silver will be known.
Perfect. Here's the two things. One is that when I give this to somebody else, we're taking a risk of that person being hurt, / people are going to start to realize that this silver will bring in demons, which means they're not going to want it / they're going to
associate it with you guys.
That has it.
Yeah.
So if we're going to get rid of this again, not only do we have to find a new fence or a new sucker, we're probably going to have to push it through somebody else.
And you're also building a reputation.
We are.
That you're going to give stuff to people that is bad.
Dealing with the black market is great until you start fucking with the black market, then it's bad.
Yeah. Then
So
they
you
turn
have to
on
be
you.
very careful. So I would probably be skinny to you guys that I'm not willing to continue compromising my contacts, because this is how we make money. Like, I'm making us a couple extra bucks on the cut every time, even if I take part of it.
Now,
You guys are still getting some of it, you know.
that all said, Maeve even brings up the point of, there's someone out there that wants demonic silver.
Mm-hmm.
There's a market for it somewhere.
Yeah.
We just have to find that market.
And I don't necessarily want to go looking for it myself.
Right.
So.
But at this point, at the end where you've decoded the notes and you've figured out the cipher, and you've started distributing some of the treasure, Mizla and the very finely dressed woman, who you know as Arya, walk into the room.
Gotcha. This is so good to see that you're still alive, you old... I'm sorry.
Sorry, keep going.
You old hag. The gout hasn't taken you yet.
I'm only 90. Calm down.
I'm so fresh.
Is that who I think it is?
It is exactly who you think it is.
So I'm assuming I should go get Sternbreaker.
Well, let's do some business before he comes in and smashes the place up with us inside of it.
Good call.
We have a couple things we'd love Ari to take a look at.
Arya steps forward and says, "Am I identifying items for you again?
If you have the time.
Are you putting this on a tab?"
What's our tab at?
Well,
What if I throw in a short bow, 2 scimitars in it?
you know that she only goes after weird
I'm
stuff.
just joking. I know exactly.
I mean, I can, I always have use of
handfuls of putrid silver with an interesting origin.
No.
Damn.
I always have use of people that know this town and are willing to break the rules in it, because I cannot.
Well, Laura Dove's your gal.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ. So if you, at this point, you already owe me something. If you just want to become on my retainer, I will become your identifier.
Against my better judgment, I huddle with my crew.
Against his better judgment to consult with his crew.
Well, I'm the dealer. This is usually what I do for a living and how I get my stuff done. But I'm towing you guys. You guys are coming with me.
What else?
If we do this for her, that means the next time she says, "You do me a favor." That's what we're being asked.
2 short bows, 1 long
So I know
bow.
you guys might have a distaste for this.
1 long bow and then 1 heavy crossbow.
How do you feel about this? She hasn't asked us to do anything crazy outright yet.
Yeah, you already owe her from the statuette, the
We gave her
glasses.
that statuette.
No, she bought it.
Well, then that deal is done.
That deal's done, but
You don't owe. No.
you don't owe anything for that. That's
Okay.
obviously that's
Glasses,
clear.
Yes. Glasses,
but
okay.
the glasses, she looked at 2 other things for you.
She looked at the glasses and she looked at the statue, which she said was just a statuette, and she took it off her hands after she told us it was nothing. So that's why I'm saying that favor was taken. The
But
other,
she pulled.
hang
She
on.
pulled her little
Yeah.
diamond out for 2 other things.
No, give me 1 second. Sorry. No. You know what sucks is we sold it. The gold locket.
The gold locket with the printing inside, and
That was it. No, because everything else we sold her the horned succubus.
Yeah.
Oh, carved bone statuettes.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
So
We sold
there's
that.
2 statuettes. There was the dice
The dice is what she looked at. There were two
she
sets of dice.
did cast Identify like 4 times for you.
All right. What does Identify cost sans favors?
Identify for a service is like, again, magical services aren't just readily available. There's not people that just want to sell their magic. People spend a lot of time to become magicians, and they don't just want to become a identified person.
Spell, yeah.
So 50 to 75 to 100 gold a pop, right? That diamond she has in her hand, that when she's identifying things, cost her 100 gold.
Yeah, okay.
So you're in debt to her. You know Mizla, and Mizla's recommending her. You can confer with Mizla as well about how this is going to go. But if you just say, yes, Arya, you're going to be our identified person, then you are saying, okay, we're now also going to work for you like you work for the Cardinal Bond, but without pay because you owe her for identifies.
Gotcha, okay. If Mizla's recommending her, then I'll go forward with this transaction, absolutely. Okay.
Everyone okay with him pushing that agenda?
You don't have to owe her anything. I'm just saying if we get settled someplace and you don't come with me, you get another cut, and I'll make my own team, but this is where I'm doing it.
What exactly are we identifying at this point? The cloak?
We've got a sword, a cloak,
the cloak, the sword,
and a ring.
And the ring.
I mean, it's a heavy haul for.
And if you also the amulet from the.
And the fucking amulet, yeah.
The amulet from the knoll. And if you wanted your thing identified, you're pretty sure what it is and what it does.
It's probably a penis. I mean,
but I'm guessing we're doing this because we aren't able to identify it?
Correct.
We can afford it, but...
You could go out and try to find someone to pay. But, like I said, it's going to be 50 to 100 gold, depending on who you get, depending on the negotiations, per item. Yeah. And she's just willing to give you a tab and ask for favors later. But you don't know anything about her except for Mizla's vouching for her, and he's vouching for Mizla.
And they want us to break the rules, which I'm always game to at least hear about. We don't have to accept. We never have to accept anything. There will be repercussions, obviously, but it's just like I said earlier, where it pays.
To rise on board with this.
I was gonna say this. It pays to have contacts like this in the same way that I was saying it pays not to keep giving the same person the putrid silver / burning holes, stuff like that. This might really pay off.
And you may ask both Mizla and Arya if they'd be willing to try to find a exit point for that silver as well. But
we can also ask them for a way out of their service if we need it.
Yeah,
because that's
we need to clean our account.
Like, we're done. How do we get rid of this? Let's do that. Because we're done with this team, that kind of stuff. This black market is fun. Let's get in there, guys. Get our fingernails get dirty. All right, we're on board.
All right, what do you want to go first?
Magic long sword. No, sorry, ring.
Magic schlong.
All right.
Sorry. I said schlong.
Man, bookkeeping.
Just saying. Want me to be your secretary?
No.
So she takes out her little diamond.
Arya with a Y or an I, sorry.
Arya with an I in it.
No, damn it. Good guess, Mitch. Takes out her stone.
She takes out her diamond. She looks through it. She casts her ritual. And she says, this ring makes you very slippery indeed. It is in most circles called a ring of evasion, and it will allow you, when you need to get out of the way of something, to get out of the way of it better.
You'll be able to write like +1 dodge.
No, it's allows you to re-roll. Not re-roll.
Advantage on.
To succeed. If you fail a dexterity saving throw, you could just spend a charge from this thing and succeed instead.
It's a dex saving throw.
Correct.
Sweet. All right.
It's called Ring of Evasion.
Let's go back to
whoever gets it. By the way, just look for that. Exactly how you wrote it down. You can add it to your equipment.
Ring of Evasion.
Yep.
Okay. Next, we'd like to take a look at this chain with a crescent moon pendant dangling from it.
So I have to go to a special place for this. Hold on.
It's always good when the GM has to look stuff up unless he's going to attack you, because it's always bad when he has to look up what's going to attack you.
It's bad. It's totally
Can you
bad.
see this?
She says she's really never encountered something like this before, but it is to aid people into the Twilight Realm for meditative purposes. She doesn't know, like, you say you got it off a knoll. This knoll probably killed someone that was very calm, cool, and collected, and just thought it was a shiny bauble.
When you say meditative purposes, I'm assuming you mean like these guys do for sleep.
No, even more than that. People that need to focus and even, it is for the mind going somewhere else. Like, this could help. She's like, I don't even think this could help me, and I'm a wizard, and I memorize spell books. This is a level of meditation that you try to leave yourself and knowledge behind.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's going on
sorry.
over here?
I just swung over.
You're just hurt.
You just cut me with a pencil. I have blood poisoning. Just erase it. It's fine. Just erase my pain.
The blood poisoning has been fixed.
She doesn't know exactly who this would be
Let's work
for.
on that.
But again, it's for someone that has an inner reserve of energy, maybe sorcerers, maybe like people that have any type of inner energy that they tap from.
Have we heard of something like this? Being monks?
Well, you're a monk, so you want to
Sure.
take a look at it.
Shall.
Okay. When you touch it, you haven't heard anyone else say or anything, like they're just grabbing this thing or whatever. When they hand it to you, it feels like water just splashed into your hand. This thing feels cool to the touch, and it just washes over you. And when you hold it, if you just try to go into your meditative kind of stance, not just the Eladrin thing, but your like monk centering kind of thing, it just takes you right to a Twilight realm where it's completely peaceful and you're above the world.
Let's sell it.
I'm just gonna stay in this world.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Wait.
You can if you want.
No, I'll come back. Go ahead,
Because,
come back. I'll come back.
I mean, if you're going to use this, you need to attune yourself to it.
Yeah.
And that's going to take a bit. So if you just want to like grab that and stay there, you can start attuning yourself to it.
Not to be crass about myself, but if you have it in your possession and it's working, you should probably use it now before I get a hold of it again.
Yeah, but also I want to be there, like in present when they're dealing with handing out the gold for Helnia.
We're not handing out any gold yet.
Not yet.
But you have time for that.
Alright.
Sternbreaker's not even in there.
I was telling Jordan I would have your back. He's not.
He's not
Wow,
drunk.
She never has you.
Fine, I'll stay here.
You're not seeing you coming back. All right.
No, I'm not
All right, so
coming
there we
back.
go.
I'm
And
staying
then I
here.
guess the last thing would be the long sword.
We still have the cloak too.
Well, I know. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you have the cloak.
Long sword.
I don't know why I'm excited about the cloak. It sounds like, is the cloak mine?
Well, you're.
I got the
ranger.
quiver, so I doubt it. But
Sorry. If you refresh your character, you'll be able to go to equipment. Specifically, you'll need to add it as wielding or using and then attune to it. But you'll see what it does. So go to equipment, click the little box, and then attune.
it's got a picture and everything.
It does.
It's a real. It's an object.
No. I made this.
Just go back.
I made this in D&D Beyond, everyone. We're not
There you go.
sponsored, but we're available.
No, go back to
so-
your screen. You see it?
Mhm.
Yep, there you go.
And did you attune it? That's the thing.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, there you go. And you can read what it does. What's the next thing? The sword?
Longsword.
Okay, so she identifies longsword and is like, this seems like a magically imbued longsword. It has a minor enchantment on it, but it also seems very angry. I don't know, there's something about it that just is aggravating.
She can't tell the nature of the enchantment other than it's angry.
Besides that, it has an enchantment to make it better, like a general enchantment for fighting. But she's getting this feel to it that just, it's like, there's something about this thing.
And the cloak.
All right.
All right.
I like how you're so excited about this.
It's like
this
a charisma cloak of voguing.
This is a cloak of the sea. It's
Mitch,
for.
what did you do with the bard?
It's for. Wow. Wow. You don't have to type it. You can say.
Did you pocket it?
It's underneath the TV that has the remote, like right where we keep it up on the shelf. If it's not there, then I don't know what to tell you because that's where I left it.
Be sure to subscribe with your Prime membership while you're here.
God damn it.
Yeah, you easy.
So it's a cloak of the sea. It seems to be made for people that want to traverse the sea or deal with it.
Damn it.
I'll try it on then. Does it give me any kind of like inside?
You're going to have to tune to it, but I will go ahead and add it to your gear. And if you're watching at home on a web browser, you'll be able to look at these characters on the sidebar, and you can see what I'm adding to their...
Which I've yet to do. I wish I'd used my laptop last week when you guys were playing. So, you guys didn't have like character sheets.
We did. No, they all did. I put it up there.
I still want to see that, but I'm always here and never get a chance to look at it.
So, refresh, and you'll have it in your...
Yeah.
You're not subscribed.
You have to resubscribe, you easy.
You're not subscribed right now.
See those little W's next to our names? Yours doesn't have a little W because you're...
You have to hit the square with the up arrow, the share button. Scroll over to find the request desktop site. And when you do that, you can actually hit the subscribe button and subscribe, because Apple will not let you spend money on their platform for someone else. So you have to go through all that rigmarole to get to the real thing.
Ooh, Cloak of the Mercenary. I can't attune it.
You have to equip it first.
Oh, you did.
Okay.
Do I need to refresh?
Maybe.
Let's try.
And then hit your tuning. I don't know. It may not need a tuning.
Looks like it doesn't need a tuning.
Yeah, no tuning. So, yeah, there you go.
What? Score.
So.
Yeah, you're not getting that shit.
What's next?
Oh, that's it. That was everything magical.
All right.
I mean, unless you want to have your quiver looked at, but you know what it is, right?
I mean, I've already put things in it, so
right. You're pretty confident in what it is.
Sweet. All right.
I don't want to add it to a tab. I don't have to.
Now you're thinking roguishly, you ranger some bitch.
So, coming to the end of this, which is taking a bit of time, because Identify is not a quick ritual, Mizla leaves and comes back and checks on you, brings you drinks, all that kind of stuff. As it's getting towards the end, she asks, oh, sorry, who took the ring of evasion?
No one's taken it yet.
So, I do want to point out that as a rogue, you already have a good dexterity save.
That's why I haven't taken it.
Right. And you're going to get things eventually to even make your dex save better. But that's not necessarily like everyone here, besides, I guess, Maeve, is kind of a dex-based character.
Yeah. I was going to say give it to Maeve anyway because he's going to be hidden, or at least distanced. I'm going to be in the front no matter what. My dex is what's going to save me. She's a monk. She doesn't really need a ring of evasion. She already has missile snaring as a regular fucking...
Well, I mean, this is like if a fireball goes off. Who do you want to almost guarantee you does not take full damage?
I think it would have to be our cleric, wouldn't it?
And I want to say that I gave, like, after this debacle, these rings of night vision, which everyone else grabbed before her. I'm like not trying to put gear into the game that's like, this is for Maeve.
No, I got you.
So
I don't know. I'm down with giving it to her, but these guys get a vote too, I guess. I think if anybody's going to survive, it should be the person that can heal us if we get hurt.
I would say it'd be Maeve or Laura Dove, just because, like...
she's going to be up there.
She is.
In the front
Laura
line.
Dove's going to be on the front lines.
What's your dex,
no matter what we do.
It's already a +4.
This isn't going to add a whole lot to it.
And you're proficient in it, I believe, so it gives you a +6.
You can give it to me. I mean...
I'm not, like, is your
What's your
dexterity saving throw?
6, yeah.
Yeah, +6.
Yeah, that's what mine's at.
Yeah, it's
yours
pretty good.
is probably high, too.
Actually, you guys are higher than me this time around. You believe it?
You're only
Well,
+3
And if we
right
give it to
now,
Maeve,
but you
that's
also have
have to
it.
try
You have
to
a
save her.
+5.
It's because it was sorry.
So if we give it to Maeve, then we don't have to worry so much about saving her when she's in her pickles.
Sure, we can also pay Arya with it.
You can try to lower your debt with her if she wants it. You can offer it to her, but having it in the party might be a better bet.
I would say give it to Maeve.
Alright, give it to Maeve.
And later on, again, you only have 3 items you can be attuned to. This is an attunement item. If she gets better items later on, then you can cycle it out and sell it then. So
She's out of the 4 of us, like she's the one that would probably need it the most, just in case an enemy targets her, knowing that she can heal and all that stuff.
Give
Alright.
it up to her.
So Mizla comes back in towards the end and is like, shall I get Sternbreaker?
Yeah, bring him on. Let's see what we got here.
Alright. So,
Would you stop grabbing limes? No one likes limes.
I like limes.
I like the lemons too.
What is this?
Jalapeno.
Put it in your mouth.
Why'd you pull that out of your pants right now? That's weird.
Now what?
Because he's spicy.
I don't know. Spit it back out, put it back in your mouth.
What? Eat
Don't
it.
do
Jesus,
that,
man.
weirdo.
Like the only vegetable you'll eat. So you should eat a lot of them.
Yesterday he had a smoothie with kale and spinach.
It's a
and
smoothie. How much sugar was in that thing?
Yeah, it was like a veggie smoothie.
Sugar's a vegetable.
Were there onions in it?
You're dumb. And
So-
no.
No, but I had deviled eggs that have mayo in it. What's
did?
up?
Huh. Well,
Well, when there's seasoned
It's-
dead,
it's
too bad.
oil and eggs. Have you ever eaten cake? You've had mayonnaise. Then.
I know I've had mayonnaise.
Like,
I'm just saying, like,
there's oil and eggs in cake. It's what makes it moist.
Moist.
anyway,
Moist. The 3 moisketeers. So she goes like, okay, I'm going to go get Sternbreaker. Helena has not woken up. But moist. Moist. So Helena's not woken up yet, or you think. But Mizla leaves the room to go get Sternbreaker, and Arya is like, alright, I've added it to the tab. If you're ever in question about my business dealings, you can find me here most nights at the bar. And she leaves.
are we still in the room where Helen is being kept up?
Correct. You
Okay.
are still there.
So we can't see her though, like she hasn't like escaped. or
No,
anything.
she is still there. The door opens up, like it's a big old hand comes around it, opens it, and this Goliath, this half giant essentially, is stepping through these old, human-made lower catacomb room doorways. He's stepping in, and he stops. He sees you arrayed, however you are, but he sees Helnia manacled up to the wall in the back. It's like, He just pushes open that door, steps in, turns around, closes it nice and tight, and turns.
Oh god.
I knew I could count on you.
Well, pay us before you kill her and try to give us half.
Oh, don't you want to be here for the festivities?
Of course not.
You don't need any more information out of her? Like why she killed my father?
Well,
We just want you to go.
perhaps these weaker stomachs would like to leave the room if you'll quit stretching and let them go.
Going through doors is hard work for him, okay?
Oh, he's limbering up for a long night of fun, apparently.
I get what we've done.
Is there anything we need to know?
There are a few things we could know.
There's a
Do you
lot
guys
of
want to
things
sit
we
around
could
and watch what's about to happen, or do you want to go have some beers and wait for me?
You can go up and talk to Arya.
You can hang out if you want.
I mean, you know nothing about this woman except for that she's a magic practitioner of some sort, and now you owe her a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot.
Also, in the same token as the black market that I was telling you guys, you might not want to see questioning tactics.
I just want to put this in perspective. Like, the first job you did for a gold piece each, and the second job you did for 10 gold pieces each. Now, you got loot, which, like, equated to, like, 10 to 15 to 30 more.
This is about to give us 100 gold.
Well, he's about to give you 100 gold, but you owe Arya like 600 to 700 gold. Like, that's the going rate for Identify. So, like, you may want to learn a little bit more about this person you are dealing with. I mean, I'm not saying that's something you think of, but, like, she's been a part of your life. She's come in, she's talked to you, and you know nothing about her.
Right, I'll go up and try to speak with Arya while...
You should take Maeve with you.
Oh, yeah, Maeve.
Yeah, Maeve's like...
Yeah, we're going.
Yeah, Maeve's actually, like, she was not intending on leaving. Like, you could see it in her face. Like, she's like, I'm okay with this. And then, like, you're like, oh, let's go up. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay. And she goes.
She doesn't always seem like a weirdo who wants to watch torture. She's like,
She seems like a weirdo
Nobody
she seemed like a weirdo that was okay with it.
She seems like a weirdo that's into experience.
I mean, I feel like I would be okay with it, but, like, I could go with or without it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is not your realm, really. Like, you're going to see someone that can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
Just... I mean, they did bad things. They did bad things to people that couldn't defend themselves either. But, you know, as a monk, it's a lot of...
Oh, would monks be considered eye for an eye? Do they not have to follow that?
This is, K Jewelers or whatever it is.
That's pretty apt. Inspiration. Once in a lifetime. An epic moment.
No, look up what this
It
is.
all boils down to this.
It's
This one day, this one moment, this one kiss.
Summer Overture.
Make it count.
Oh, Requiem for a Dream. Okay.
Thank you. I was like, this is Requiem for a Dream.
All right. So you're taking Maeve up. What are you doing?
I feel like you have to stay.
You should stay.
All right.
You're sticking
You're gonna
around.
stay.
All right, you're gonna
This
stay.
could give you information about the fiends that have been hounding you and are staying in the city and all this jazz.
I also would say my character doesn't necessarily trust Arovar since I've caught him trying to...
Good for you. Inspiration.
Hey, see, I don't need to do journal entry. I'll learn it eventually.
You could have got intervention.
Trust me.
Your
You
edition.
could have had an intervention.
Jesus.
It's
You
about
could've gotten
time.
You could have added intervention. All right. Who wants to go
You gotta
first?
talk about your hats.
You want to go with Arya, or you guys want to do the Helnia?
Can we do a jump back and forth scene? Like we do some with this, some with that?
We could.
Let's
Who
do
wants
that.
to start though?
Well, as they leave the door, let's start with some in the background.
All right.
We'll do the...
Do you guys?
You pick.
You first or them first?
Them first.
Okay. So as they leave with Mizla, as Maeve and Loradov leave to go back upstairs, and the door shuts and locks, and the little viewport window is latched up, Sternbreaker like steps forward and crouches down, or actually he goes over a corner, grabs a bucket that's filled with who knows how long standing water, and walks over and crouches down in front of Helnia and just pours this over top of her.
Bucket first.
Okay.
Should pee in the bucket.
And pours it over her, and she shocks awake. You know, she's barely alive.
Yeah.
Like, she is not in a... If she was just left on her own, she wouldn't make it.
Well, I stabbed her in the upper guts, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you credit her, so...
Yeah.
I think...
I
believe that whoever hit her killed her in one shot before she could use any ability she has, which was crazy, because she has some pretty cool abilities, and she did a dumb thing, because she's dumb, and jumped out in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
But she, like, wakes up and looks up, and, like, immediately tries to, like, move, and then she starts to try to move her hands. And that's when Sternbreaker reaches out, grabs both of her hands, and breaks all of the fingers on them.
Sweet.
She screams out in pain, and that's the end of her spell casting days, unless she can have a spell that's just verbal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just curious, just as a regular question, in this kind of world, can her hands be healed through spells?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, everything can be restored, or even like missing limbs can be brought back.
She's not leaving this
area
alive.
No, I get it.
Let's be real.
And then the fun begins, and he's not like, he wants to rub it in. He wants to just drive it home. He's here for revenge.
We've got some bad cop going on, so let's play some good cop.
Yeah, if you guys want to get any information out of her, especially about what she's doing here, start asking me some questions.
First would be, do they know where the Oxbow is yet? I know they were looking for it, but doesn't necessarily mean they didn't find it.
No.
Okay.
So the schedules you saw were literally, they were trying to map out every aqueduct or every basin in the aqueducts so that they can hit every single one the night of and try to discern the one that's the Oxbow.
All right. How many of her forces are left? Ours, because ours has like up to 10 more Huffers. I want to make sure that that's correct or not.
She says 16, including some very potent mages and.
I thought like 16 was her roll.
No.
I gotcha.
She says 16 or left, but go ahead and roll if you're doing an insight.
Yeah,
go ahead and see if she's lying.
To see if she's lying.
Insight.
Insight.
Mm-hmm. Insight is lying.
Would be a 21.
Right, she's lying. She's trying to boost the forces.
Perfect. I'll take a step back and point to Sternbreaker for a little more.
Yeah. She tries to stick to it, but you know that there's less than 16, and there's probably not any other leader types as high as her.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's just kind of how you get out of it.
So we know that they're bringing people through with the Kedge Anchor on the Blood Moon Festival.
That's what they want to do.
That's what they want to do.
Oh, you haven't asked that yet.
Oh.
I mean, you saw it in the code book.
Well, then I'll try to corroborate this information.
Yes.
Is this what she's doing?
That's what she's doing. The Kedge Anchor was designed to be thrown in the water. The runes on it specifically make it go upstream and allow people on that side to come through, because apparently the Oxbow Basin is not perceivable from the other side. So it's completely random how... I'm good. It's completely random for demons on the other side. The only... they can't set up and be ready there. They don't know where it's going to appear on their side during the Blood Moon. But if they could get that Kedge Anchor down, it would become a permanent fixture. So it is kind of a one-way portal.
Is
to them.
to the grave, or
Hey, Raver to the Graver.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back.
Wiley!
We're having a half giant.
It's a Goliath, yes.
Goliath.
Essentially a half giant.
Beat up somebody for information for.
Yeah, you came in during the torture scene, which makes me feel very Shadowrunny right now.
We did that once in Shadowrun.
Yes, you did.
That was one of my favorite making my brother angry moments. We spent that whole session getting into the club, and as soon as we got that person tied up in the opposite room,
Like, what do I ask him?
I was like, he doesn't want to ask him. My brother's like, do you want to know?
Like the thing that we try to get all the time.
So get that kedge anchor signifies the entrance by making it permanent.
So the kedge anchor would make the portal permanent. That means that this portal that normally opens once every 4 or 5 years would just be open, and demons would be able to pull themselves through it.
I want to ask her how. I don't know the origin of the silver coins and how they attract demons.
They're putrid silver. The Huffers get paid in them all the time. To them, it's just money. But on the prime material plane, the demons can sniff them out somehow.
Okay.
So you never spend a putrid coin in the prime material because a demon always gets it back.
Gotcha. So basically, what we're dealing with, we're just using Huffer money, is what this stuff is. It doesn't have any kind of signifying effect.
On their world in the outer planes, that's just currency to them. That's just another currency.
I would also want to know were there Blood Moon Festival plans specifically, or was that just when the portal opens? Like, if the portal's open on Blood Moon Festival,
the portal only opens.
It's open on Blood Moon Festival. They throw the anchor in, and then demons come out.
That's it. That's it for them.
That's it.
The Huffers are people that ply the river Styx and try to get demons where they want to go.
Okay, cool.
Because the river Styx goes to a bunch of places. So they are navigators.
Right.
And demons, as you will know and you tell everyone, if they can get a portal to the prime material plane, which is all they fucking want to do, they can make it not just permanent, but a festering hole to the abyss, and they can just start corrupting the land and do all that stuff. Like, that's the last thing you want demons to get, is a permanent portal.
Gotcha.
That they know.
Alright, so do you have any questions, Jordan, right off the top of your head that you can think of?
I might want to ask her specifically, like, where they were looking into.
Just all the basins. They were just trying to map out all the basins so they can...
My question was, did they know where the Oxbow was? And I
Nope.
still haven't found it yet.
So, like, really what it is to them now is, like, they had enough people that they could hit every single basin in that night and find the one, throw the kedge anchor in. But you've destroyed that infrastructure so badly that they're probably, it's a random chance now. And they don't have the kedge anchor. So...
Did we narrow it down to those 5 too, looking at their notes and stuff like that? Or is it, so we need to ask her what 5 basins they have?
No, it's not 5 basins. It's all the basins. They had enough. They had enough people to look at all the basins in the aqueducts.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes plenty of sense.
Yeah.
Do you have anything
So
else? No? All right.
I just want to throw this out there because and this is what you are, is that if there's a portal open once a day, you can just sense a portal within a mile of you. There may well be. There is most likely other portals to other planes in Baldur's Gate. So you don't want to, it's not open now. The portal apparently only opens during the Blood Festival. But you kind of want to be more sure of where it is if you're going to try to use that ability to find this thing.
Is it open for the entirety of the Blood Moon Festival, or for
That's what they're saying.
Okay, all right. So let's go to her, and we'll think a little bit more on what we've learned and what we need to talk to.
Okay, so we'll skip over. So you go up with Mizla and Arya. Go ahead and make me an insight check. As you're walking upstairs with the 2 of these folk.
Uh, 22.
Wow, that's a hell of an insight. They are very close. As they're walking up the stairs ahead of you, they're like kind of arm in arm, whispering back and forth to each other. Lots of physical contact between each other. So these two people are close, Arya and Mizla. You know that he knows Mizla from back when he keeps calling her a hag and all these things, like she's an old woman. But she's half drow. She's a half elf that is dark-skinned drow. And though they are only supposed to, like, you're an Eladrin, you're a pure elf. And then there's elves, which you see as mortal elves. And then there's half-elves, which have bred with humans. So you know that she's only going to live to 200 max, 120, 130 in the range. But she looks pretty young to you. You're probably already 60, 70 in this world. But they're very close. And Arya is a human.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, but she's a magic user, so that can change.
Right.
And she seems in her 20s, so a seasoned magic user, but definitely not one that, is an expert at any field or a master of anything, because magic takes a lifetime to comprehend and master for humans. So they go up and they sit at the bar, and the bar is pretty much ignored. Everyone likes to sit in the booths and everything up there. And she sits down with you. She orders a wine, asks whatever you want to order, and she'll get it for you, or put it in your tab. Okay.
You'll put it on your tab.
Put it on the tab.
She's like, you owe me $600 in favor and $1,200 in ale.
Oh, yay. I've got $1.
So she sits down, you order wine, you order the same wine as her, and Maeve orders the same wine as well, just to round it out.
It's all four of us.
And Mizla's behind the counter, like she's not sitting down with you, she's working. So she gets you all the wine, kind of sits there for the initial part in case anything's awkward, but she's generally like needing to go deal with other customers. So is there anything in particular you want to ask Arya?
I just start off kind of casual, just like, how did you come to Baldur's Gate and get involved with the Blushing Mermaid?
She is here for...
Remember, too, you don't have to ask specific questions, just about the information you want to know.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to know what she's doing here. I want to know, if she has friends or contacts or that kind of stuff.
So she came here for work. She came specifically down the coast. She moved over to the coast and came... hold on.
She came.
She came up. Up. She's from down here somewhere.
Okay.
So she came up the coast, and when she got into town, the Blushing Mermaid was one of the first places she stopped at. Oddly enough, because she's definitely not dressed or that kind of attire for the lower city.
How long has she been here?
Like 3 months.
Okay, so she tells me that, and I kind of remark on her, not in a judgy way towards her, just her relationship with Mizla and how the two seem very close.
Well, she took care of me and showed me the ropes of Baldur's Gate because it's such a, it's so different than where I'm from.
Okay, then I want to ask her about, her expectations on repayment. When does she think she's going to ask us to repay her, and how does she normally?
So she says she understands that you guys are in the middle of something pretty heavy, and she's totally willing to see that through and not, come in and impede anything that's pressing. But once you're done with any engagements you have right now, she has a pretty immediate need of some people that are more disconnected to the city, but also know its ins and outs.
And say you send us out on these adventures to collect. What happens if we don't succeed?
Well, that's my gamble. My payment to you is off of your debt, whether you get that payment or not.
Okay.
Like, if you succeed or fail, I gambled on it. That's kind of how she comes to the table with it.
And if we don't repay you?
She's never worked in the black market before.
Well, I haven't.
Or she's like, yeah.
No, it's totally acceptable questions. I'm like, oh.
If I fail, these jobs aren't from me. I don't have a personal stake in Baldur's Gate. But I have needs in Baldur's Gate. And if you can't substantiate those needs for me when you owe me, then I'm going to pass your names to the person I work for.
Alright. I think that's about all the questions I could think of.
You don't know who she works for?
Oh, who do you work for?
Because she says she's from the South. She works for someone else. She's pretty high society. Kind of like, want to get into like who she works for and all that stuff.
I've learned I'm pretty terrible at interrogation.
No, it's always like knowing what the questions to ask and all that kind of stuff.
You're not
you learn it.
Either. You're really just
you're just conversating. Yeah. If you ask that, she says I work for a particular trade interest in the South. Silvagonesta.
The sleeping pill.
The blue dragon of the southern deserts. One of the easiest trade paths up from the south, besides the water, is controlled by a blue dragon, and he is my master. He likes to see trade flourish because everything that comes through his pass, he gets tithe for. And I am here to solidify trade with the South through his pass.
Does Maeve have any questions?
She's like, we're dealing with a dragon? I'm out.
Nope. She just gets off her bar stool and
like, no,
walks
she
off
stays
into the distance.
like she's just like clutching to you at this point. Like, nope. Like, this is above my pay grade, and she's dealing with people in the upper city, and I never want to deal with people in the upper city.
So does she consider this debt like this is all of our debt, or this is his debt that we're helping carry out?
It's all of your debt. She almost sees it in her mind as you're the Cardinal Bond group, and she's hiring the Cardinal Bond, but she's not hiring the Cardinal Bond through the normal channels because you're just...
Right.
I'm slowly training a group of rogues. Like, no.
There's this weird thing in D&D. So the rogue was not an original character class. There was fighters, there was magic users, and there was priests. There was the divine magic users.
Yeah.
Rogues got added in later because someone said it, and there's a big discussion of if that ruined the game, because in the origins of it, everyone was a rogue. Everyone was thinking criminally because you were going down into a dungeon with traps and gold, and everyone needed to know how to spot traps, disarm traps, get around traps. And once you gave a stat to a specific class that says you're the trap person, then all of a sudden you're kind of saying no one else can see a trap anymore. And that was a big controversy because a guy in a game store with the original designers just proposed that, and they put it in, and it became a thing. But like, look at if you look at the old Conan the Barbarians, there was Conan, and there was his little buddy, and there was the girl with him. all three of them were thieves.
Yeah.
He was Conan the Barbarian. He was a thief.
And a fighter foremost.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, no, he could fight his shit, but he stealthed, he climbed, he got past traps, but he was the big burly thief, and you don't have that anymore. Like, you literally don't have the guy that's like, I'm the big barbarian, also I can stealth and spot traps and disarm them and do all this stuff, as like Conan did, and his two other people, like she was an archer and he was he was pretty much a thief. He was just a little sneak, but he kind of knew alchemy and things like that. That original barbarian. The original classes were dwarf, elf, but humans got to pick. So there was the humans got to pick armsman or marshal.
Also, the original classes were dwarf, elf, and human.
No, so dwarves. No, humans got to pick. Humans got to pick cleric, fighter, or something. Cleric, fighter. Elves were their own class, which was a fighter magic user. And the dwarves were their own class, which was a tougher fighter.
Gotcha.
So, like, the races didn't have distinctions. You couldn't pick different things. You were just a dwarf or an elf. But as a human, you got to pick between 2 or 3.
Gotcha. When I saw that, I thought, I was like, those are races. Those are classes that I don't know anything about.
Oh, back in the day, the original, I wish I still had them. My original, like, Eric bought them, or kind of traded for them. The original red box, blue box, green box. It was cool, but, like, if you've ever seen Record of the Lotus Wars, an anime, like, the elf in that is the traditional elf. Like, this mystic nature illusion magic user, also a good fighter. The dwarf is the dwarf. Like, I'm a stalwart dwarf. I can fight. I have a shield. I have an axe. I have heavy armor. But the humans were the priest, the fighter, the thief in that one. So the 1E elf, man.
I shouldn't even have tried to answer that question, to be honest. I've only ever played 5E, so that was silly of me to
yeah.
I mean, I just thought that dwarf, elf, and human obviously are races, no, not necessarily classes.
Yeah, in the original, they, like, you didn't pick a race class except for humans. But sort of. You didn't pick a race class. You said, I am a fighter, I am a cleric, I am a elf, or I'm a dwarf. And there's one more, and I still can't remember what it is, but the first 3 were humans.
Was it wizard?
Oh, yes. Magic user,
cleric,
fighter, cleric.
Gotcha.
Magic user, fighter, cleric were all humans. Then there was elf, then there was dwarf. That was just the classes.
Gotcha.
So they just happened to be human for these 3, the 3 choices essentially, and then dwarf and elf. And that was before they, did this. Oh, why can't dwarves be clerics? Why can't dwarves be other things? Why can't elves be other things? It was oh no, that's just a class. Like, all elves are this, all dwarves are this, and you kind of see that in Lord of the Rings. Like, all the elves are fucking archers that are stealthy and can sense things and do all that stuff. There's not an elven priest, there's not an elven anything else except for the top level, which are like the pinnacle of their class, Elrond and what's her face? Gladriel, who are wizard elves essentially. Yep. So good.
So the company she works for is the Blue Dragon. It's a company?
It's not a company. Well, sort of. If you want to delve into that, she even talks about it, where this blue dragon, long time ago, set down in this one desert pass, which was perfect. It had an oasis right in it. It had some canyon walls that protected it from the harshness of the winds and the sands. It's like the perfect pass if you're coming down or up from the south to go to the north. It's one of the safest, easiest paths to go. But there's mountains there, there's caves, and this blue dragon, as a young little hatchling, settled in there and said, oh, there's all these people, they're just bringing treasure through. And I like treasure, I want to hoard that, so it started attacking. And that's when people stopped coming up that pass. No one went that pass anymore because they knew there was a dragon there and it was stealing all the wealth and making its hoard. And that dragon went, well, shit. That was like kind of what I wanted to do. It was so easy when things just came up here. And it actually met this kind of vizier old wizard, and the wizard sat down with him and talked to him and said, you could just let people through here and they'll give you treasure. And voila, a dragon became a businessman. And now it owns this big fort that's carved into the wall. Its lair is like an established city-state almost.
Say dragon businessman sounds like a terrible person to have to deal with.
Right, like it's Shadowrun all the way. And it allowed people through. It guaranteed safe passage with the guarantee that there's a dragon that protects it. You just have to give a fee for that protection, and it's way higher than anyone, other places. But as a ship goes, a storm could come in and take that out. As other things go, like if you go through this pass, who's going to attack you? What bandits are going to attack a place that is protected by a dragon? Yeah. So he started doing a lot of business, and because of that, he started building pretty much a kingdom, a thing. But he runs it himself. He has him and his vizier, who's very ancient, old at this. Actually, I think probably the vizier is dead at this point. But Arya is one of his new, you don't know how she got there. She doesn't really speak about her relationship, but she speaks about that dragon personally. That is her master. That's who taught her magic, and she is here for him. So it feels like she is a direct agent of this dragon, not just someone in his empire. And she's here in Baldur's Gate securing business through the pass, the southern pass, for this dragon.
So she basically is trying to keep people going through there?
Yeah, so Baldur's Gate is a trade hub. So she's trying to come up here and talk to the Merchants Guild. She's trying to come up here and talk to the Parliament, essentially, and the Lords of Baldur's Gate to make sure that they keep doing business and keep promoting people to come through the pass. And if she can get people away from using the boats and the other things, like the other pathways, and say, hey, tell your merchants that you'll only buy stuff that comes through the pass and is guaranteed, you'll have a much more stable business because there's no volatility of pirates, there's no volatility of storms or bandits, and she's trying to secure those lands. It's pure business. She's a business person up here.
So what kind of work could abandoned mercenaries possibly do for a trade route?
She's like, I didn't understand this when I came up here, that this place was such a freelance, like a freelance den of inequity. There's certain things that I need to be above, but I need to get done. There's certain people that need to have their minds changed, and the way to do that is not something I can do as a representative of my...
So we'd basically be like thugs for hire.
Yeah.
We'd be guides.
You're gonna go get stuff. And so Maeve kind of whispers over to you and says blackmail is huge here. That's what she's probably saying.
Yeah.
You guys are going to go need to either find, she's going to hire us to go find or create blackmail on certain nobles so that they change their opinion of her or start dealing with her in a different light.
Did I ask all the right questions?
No, I think you explored that pretty well. So back downstairs.
Who does number 2 work for?
Actually, at that point, we're going to take a quick break.
Oh, yeah, it's break time, yeah.
Should I play an ad?
Well, let's explain that real quick.
Do you
want me to say it or you want to say it?
Yeah, go for it.
So, those of you that are watching right now, Raver the Graver, it's really good to see you. Tabletop Keyboard, Drug Dealing Monkey, thank you guys very much for being here and for supporting us and being here all the time. We just recently learned through Twitch that affiliates can make money on ad viewership. So we're tossing around the idea of, during our 5 to 10 minute break, of throwing an ad in there to see if maybe that helps revenue. It's something that might help out the stream. It might help us get to our payout a little bit quicker. But it also feels a little intrusive, and we were all kind of like, we don't necessarily want to do that with such a small fan base because the payout might not be as big. But we're wondering if we show an ad now for 30 seconds, will you guys stick around? Are you okay with that? Can we give it a try? So I think we're going to, before you answer, we're going to throw one in real quick while we take our break.
It's a 30-second ad. Lord and Savior Ace!
Hey! Bounties.
Yeah. You're talking about WoW Classic? Bounties?
I mean, no.
So-
Oh, for our... our getting up to partner. We're way off.
All right,
partner.
so let's do that real quick. Let's run an ad for 30 seconds. Everyone go.
See how it goes. And we don't know what this looks like, so please let us know what this is about. Let us know what they run.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're going to run on my channel.
So you guys want to get to? You're going to be the first ones that watch monetary ads for us. We're not going to shove them down your throats. Absolutely not. But we know you have to look at one before you show up. Like even when we watch each other, we have to watch an ad. So we're going to run one. Give us feedback at the end of this ad, okay? So we'll be back in a few seconds.
Yeah. So we're going to hit a 30-second ad right now. We're going to take a break. Obviously, we're not going to be, like, the 30 seconds...
Isn't the end of our break.
Isn't the end of our break. We're going to be back. We're going to be able to talk to you. But let us know what you think of this. Something we've never done before. We just got it as affiliate status. And here we go. Here's an ad break for the Wileyverse.
Also,
it says reminder, you are still live. Some people may not get an ad. So I think the people that pay,
interesting.
People that pay may not get an ad.
That's what he says. Yeah, those with subscriptions won't see the ad. I
That's
believe.
what I said earlier on the car ride over here. Like, if you're sub to a channel, you don't see
the ads.
No.
So I think the only person that's going to see it is going to be Raver to the Grave because everybody else is subscribed.
So one view.
We'll ask him. That's okay though. I mean, I'm curious, just like he said. So that was it, huh? There we go. So that ad just played. I guess all of you who are subscribing didn't see it. Raver, did you see it, or are you still seeing it? When you get a chance, let us know. What did you see? How did it affect your mood? Would you be more? Man, there are definitely laws when you're drinking White Claws. No cease and desist.
You have another one, bud?
No, I better not.
You want to hand me one?
Yeah, I've got it. I'm just nervous because after getting sick from it once, the speed with which this moved into my chest and stayed makes me nervous because I got pneumonia earlier in the year. So I'm trying to I had a couple of Jaegers earlier to kind of help that out a little bit. Because they're tasty, fool.
Alright, I feel well.
And they actually hydrate you while you drink them.
I feel like our ad's over, so...
No, it was over a minute and a half ago. That, you know, it's funny. I felt really bad. We talked about it later, where Wiley had been out of town and he gave us the keys to his place so that we could stream a game while he was gone and did a one shot. And then a couple of days later, I was like, "Fuck it, let's break in and we'll play one more time." And we did a board game thing. And then we broke in again and played the Battleship stream. So yeah, that was. So Raver to Grave did not get an ad despite us placing one. So I mean, even if who cares, maybe just makes it run. So yeah. We'll keep playing with that, see what goes on. But I'm glad you liked it. I think if we did it again, we had the cameras a little more under control, and we would probably have a little more fun playing some Battleship or maybe some like battle shots or something. Like
this
that.
one, this camera went to exposure.
Excuse me. No, the only reason that we don't play more often is that the three of us work in the same place. I work late and I go to school full time, and I say he, but Wiley works during the day, and I have either class, work, or this literally every day of the week. So I'm not super available. And we were trying to get some stuff in here and there, but Yeah, stuff like that is what kind of got us to affiliate. We were messing around. We were playing more and more.
We were doing those extra streams.
We were doing extra streams and like kind of showing up and believe me, Raver, it's a little tough.
Yeah.
And my senior year,
we'd love
it's all methodology.
We'd love to get those extra streams in. We just don't have the player base and the time base for it. We're working on it. I'd love to get a even if it's a random extra stream on some weekends or a couple weeknights.
So maybe we'll end up in school.
When you're in school, like and your
season.
Schedule and my schedule are pretty much the same.
Yes, we can play like Mondays and Tuesdays maybe, or
and we can do the Wileyverse Mitch again on a consistent basis.
Yeah, I feel like those might even be able to. Well, it wouldn't be any fun to record them without streaming, but yeah, those are good. And I was actually showing somebody the other day. I was like, yeah, we're online, we play or whatever. But I don't know, Raver the Graver. I know Lord and Savior might know about it too. But we did a small run of stuff called Wileyverse Mitch, which are introductions to other RPGs such as Vampire the Masquerade. We did Earth Dawn. We did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was an interesting stream. So we went over another hour because we played for a little bit, then we started over and played again to show kind of how janky the system was and
how old and dated the system was.
We did an introduction to The Expanse when that was super brand new. I mean, you were the only one I knew that had that game. You know, no one even heard of it yet. TMNT could have been a fantastic RPG, and I can say now that we've played it, if you put your own, like if you adjust it to, it's a Palladium's game like Rifts, so it uses the Savage Rifts. No,
it uses Palladium, which is it's a hybrid between a D20 game like D&D, where you roll a D20 to hit and attack, and a percentile game for its skills. So it's just terrible. It's just a Frankenstein's monster of a system.
So yeah, Raver, if you are interested, if you go down here to the YouTube page, you can find the Wily vs. Mitches. Just look. All the Wily vs. Mitches have a different overlay. It's an orange.
It has its own playlist on my channel.
Yeah, it has its own playlist, but you can specifically watch just the TMNT monster gangs fighting each other. I was gonna say, what is that? What's that? Shadowrun Block War. And then we never.
No, that's Block Wars is Judge Dredd.
Yeah, the TMNT one was fun. It's an interesting
TMNT is amazing.
They really kind of missed out on. They kind of shot themselves in the foot there. They could have really done a lot with it. But.
I mean, whatever it is, I want to take that chart, the animal charts they have, even the BioE and what they get, and how you spend it. I want to take all of that and put it into Savage Worlds and translate it to their system so we can play Savage Worlds TMNT game. Because
it is interesting.
I think it's awesome. Judge Dredd has a role-playing game out, but I have, it's right over there, Blockmania. It's sitting in that big stack.
That's what it was, Blockmania.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
It's a board game, like right in the middle. Or right. See, left there. Blockmania. Trogdor?
Your finger's like pointing right.
Yeah, you're pointing right at it. See Trogdor?
Yes.
Right beneath it. Yeah, Blockmania.
I was pointing at it.
Oh, sorry. You could have said something. I found it.
Yeah.
But I have the Blockmania board game, which is amazing. Also, that thing was published sometime in the 80s. The blocks are named after famous people.
Oh, that's cool.
One of them is Sylvester Stallone block.
Also, yeah, Raver the Graver, if you didn't see it down there in YouTube videos,
Trogdor! We played it.
Yeah, we
played the hell out of it.
It's in the videos, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's down the one-shots.
Down in the one-shots, we played that like, 3 times in a row, I think. It was real bang,
We even played little Meeples roll game.
Goofy stacking game, too. That turned out being a lot of fun. We had a good time playing that. Also, you don't need all of the deluxe stuff that this game came with, but the little burnable huts and things like that, great miniature pieces.
That game is so good.
Maybe I'll grab it some other time, but I was like, I'm going to grab one real quick, but yeah, the little huts are set up, and then the people are set up in a certain way, and like, you can turn the roofs of the huts over, and inside of the hut there's fire, so now the top of it's on fire. There's also little fire hats that go on the villagers when they get burninated, so they're running around on fire. It's pretty fun. We had a good time with it.
Alright. So
we came back to the interrogation. My question to Mizla was good, or to Helnia, not Mizla. Mizla, why we beat up you? And that
burninating the countryside.
So, I want to know who she's working for and if that person's on this side.
She is independent. She's like the Huffers are pretty scattered business, so she doesn't have a superior she really answers to. She's her own franchise. Right over the Graver, I'm giving you inspiration. I don't know if I've already given you that, but you're getting it. So you can give any player or monster advantage on a roll, essentially a re-roll
Also,
during
don't
the
forget
stream.
Drug Dealing Monkey and Lord and Savior, you also, as subscribers, have.
And tabletop.
And tabletop keyboard, yeah.
So
next time we fail, we've turned to begging a lot
we fail.
lately for our inspiration, but we'll see.
all right.
So she works independently. She doesn't have a boss here on this side, and really doesn't
Nope.
work from anywhere there. So then who's paying her?
The demons.
The demons
Like-
are paying her. Okay.
Demons give her, like, they have contacts, they have,
So when you use it once, it's gone.
and you can
for
get it
this
back.
session, but
Yeah.
if you say something funny or do something interesting or ask an interesting question, we'll give it back. But next session, because you have that little Wileyverse logo on your subscriber, next session you'll get it again automatically right when you start. So that's something Wiley does for subscribers.
Correct. If you're a follower, if you're a subscriber, you always have it
Yeah.
when you start the stream. So they have their contacts, their little cells. They have group meetings and stuff like that, but there really isn't a hierarchy. This is a franchise business.
So basically, those 20 coins are just like money she had on her from getting paid.
The 50.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. No, the 50. Like she had. I don't know if you want to ask this, but how much she has and where it's at and all that jazz. But she has hundreds of those coins.
Okay.
Hundreds.
Well, I was saving that for last lately, really, but not specifically that. Did you have anything you thought of to ask her while they were talking at the bar over there?
He was still thinking about his sandwich.
You still want a sandwich?
Wonder if he had any more jalapenos left in his lap.
Because I'm gonna eat them.
Jalapenos.
Jalapeno business.
Any other questions?
I don't think of anything specific.
No.
And,
I would probably. They seemed. I mean, so that was her operation. They seemed pretty organized. I'm assuming that the demons probably know about this portal, just because they find it occasionally. Is that kind of how they knew about it, or?
She doesn't really know. She just knows that she was contacted to find it.
Who was her contact?
Roll me an intimidation.
Can you get advantage because Sternbreaker's there?
Absolutely.
I'll take a 23 to intimidate.
All right. She can't remember the name exactly. She never met with this person in person, but a quasit by the name of Dargun contacted her, and that was one of her ends. This little quasit that was doing his hustle, and her in between.
Sorry.
So a quasit's a little demon.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly what they are because you've already killed one, and
Well, we ran them off. Oh no, we banished them.
you banish them. When you kill them in the prime material, they just go back
so this
to the
closet was her
thing.
contact. Was he here or there?
There.
He's there.
Yeah, he was where she was at the time, which is not the prime material plane.
Gotcha.
That quasit talked about a person named Vicrax. Vicrax was apparently heading this whole operation to distract the city while the Huffers found the basin. The only reason they know about the basin is because apparently last time a demon randomly found their way through or something like that. Reading this right now?
no.
Okay. You're just spacing out over here.
All right, that's
I'm just
good.
looking this direction. I'm not paying attention to that.
Need to get him some blinders, huh? Or a race.
Every once in a while when I have my monsters up, you'll see over here and see the...
Should just quit cheating.
I'm not paying attention to this at all.
Yeah.
That's what I tried to
So, This person or thing or entity called Vicrax is apparently what's orchestrating all of this chaos in the city to distract everything so that these hovers can find this portal.
So during this kind of misinformation campaign, they're basically just... So in addition to... I mean, how is... Because I'm trying to think of how I want to ask this. I know that was like 6 questions in my breath.
Let me go back to them and let you...
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me think about that.
Is there anything else you want to ask Arya or talk about her with? A blue dragon is her master. She's here trying to secure trade agreements, which is a cutthroat business in Baldur's Gate. There's also a thing called the Merchants League, which is kind of like a unionized group across the entire Sword Coast. And so being a free merchant versus being a merchant league is a big deal in Baldur's Gate. Are you unionized and trying to use union rules and rules that go up and down, or are you just trying to buck the system and do your own thing? And she deals with that back and forth. She kind of mentions that, of course, the Merchant League does not play ball with the dragon. They'd rather take boats than go through a pass and pay extra protection bracket money to a dragon.
Is the blue dragon just like on like this coast and north and south out that way, or are they all over at this point?
Yeah, so there's Baldur's Gate there. He's about down here somewhere in this little deserty area, right before
But how far do his people reach? Like, do they go overseas or?
No. He doesn't want anyone to go over the water because his pass for physical, it's slower, but it's guaranteed. Mm-hmm. If you're a merchant and you go, I can send a ship up the coast for 50% less of what I can pay it for and 50% faster. But there's a 20% chance you'll just lose that ship to pirates, to weather, to whatever. What's the risk reward to you? And now he's trying to go, this land route is slower, but this area of it is guaranteed for you to pass as long as you pay me my share, guaranteed by a dragon that your money is and your product is safe through here. And that's what he's trying to do.
Can't really think of any other questions I want to ask her.
All right, back over to you.
So what other parts of this distraction campaign are we talking about, being in the town? Because I know the only ones I can think of are that they've been kind of forcing Knoll invasion a little bit.
So she knew about the Knoll invasion.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of knows about the lycanthropy rumors.
Yeah.
And that there's demons out there making that
Are
happen.
lycanthropes demons?
No.
Oh, they're werewolves.
They're werewolves.
No, I get that.
Yeah, but it's not a fiendish thing.
Okay.
No, there's demons out there pretending or changing into or making illusions of to try to propagate that. So that's part of the smoke screen.
Right.
Those are the only two things she knows about. This pirate campaign, or if it is part of the campaign, she has no idea about it. The bandits on the trade route, she doesn't know anything about that. And this whole deal with the guild, if you bring that up, the assassination attempt and that whole thing, she has nothing. She doesn't know anything about that.
So she can't give me any other information on Vicrax except that this person is on this plane.
I don't even know if she can give you that.
Alright, so
does she not know of any other demons that she's been in contact with at all?
She's only worked with
Dargon,
the Quasit, and she says every time I've dealt with Dargon, he's had a tretch with him.
The fart guy.
A fart guy.
A fart guy. Schnookums. The fart pig. So, like, unless, I'm not drawing this out.
No, not at all.
Unless you, this is all the information and more that I've had, kind of planned to give to you guys.
That's fine.
I'm sure you can come up with some questions that would, get more things out of it, but if not...
No, I think it's time for us to leave.
Jump on?
Yeah.
At that point,
I'll give Sternbreaker a pat on the back.
Yep.
And tell him to get his $100 worth.
Yeah, he gives you the bag of 100 gold and cracks his knuckles and says, "I'm going to enjoy this."
Yeah, we're going to leave this room then. You can do whatever you want. You want to watch, you can watch.
I'd be leaving too.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So we'll leave her to it. Leave him to it.
I'm gonna roll something real quick. And just don't worry about it. Just don't think about why I'm rolling after you've left this room.
Okay.
And you guys go up, collect these two who've been talking to Arya. You're not going to stay at the Blushing Mermaid because it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you're going to head back to the Fated Sign where you have rooms. Being extra cautious, you are still feeling terrible. You only have one hit point left. So everyone, you guys are extra cautious heading back. It is deep into the night. It's foggy. You don't go the same way because you don't want to walk down and see if the Flaming Fist have found your little combat site or the ambush site.
Mm-hmm.
And you head back to the Fated Sun. You can skinny each other on all your findings so that everyone can be...
Just because I was trying not to pay attention on purpose. I know about the Dragon Pass and that being... Silva Ganesta was Arya's master, and that the reason that the Blue Dragon protects the pass is because they want to further trade, and that's why she's here. And Baldur's Gate turning stuff around. Other than that, what else did you learn from her? That she's trying to limit water and.
She's trying to secure trade routes.
Yeah.
Hey,
avoid
get
your and avoid the
get
stuff.
your mercantile transport to use this trade route instead of other trade routes and water and the coast. So
that's the major gist.
Basically, what I gathered from her was when we are repaying our debt to her, it sounds like it's going to be blackmailing and or influencing people to do business with her.
Sweet, some real work.
Right.
Glad you think that way.
All right.
And also, if we don't do it, we'll be dealing with the Blue Dragon, I imagine.
I would imagine.
Yeah, you'll get a tick on a blue dragon's ledger. Great. Which you do not want.
All right, so
red dragons are assholes. Blue dragons remember.
So normally I'd be like, hey, let's drink and be merry and I'm gonna gamble and stuff, but I'm so ready for bed. It's unreal. So
you guys get back to the Fated Side a little bit tensely but unmolested. Things are getting spooky out here. Like I said, the preparations for the Blood Moon Festival are happening, and a big part of that is to start tying frayed cloth to every bit sign, everything jutting out everywhere. So as you're walking through the street, it's completely covered in mist, and there's all these tattered cloth, fingers coming over everything. But you get back to the Fated Sign. The Fated Sign is closed, but you have the access because it's a Cardinal Bond Inn, and you already have rooms there. There's some people in there still. There's the big guy. He's kind of always at the door. Mm-hmm. One of the servers still kind of cleaning up and hanging out and sipping on a drink. And you can head in and go up to your rooms.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. So you two together. The two women head to their rooms. Make a perception check.
You don't have to sleep, do you? You just meditate?
He meditates, yeah. I mean, it's 4 hours of meditation.
Just her is making a perception?
Because she's with Maeve. Yeah.
Just in case.
You gonna use your inspiration?
Yeah.
Is that a use of inspiration? All right.
18.
All right. So as Maeve's walking in, you know her program. She like keeps everything close to her. She, goes over, washes up, comes over, starts getting undressed. But she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a piece of parchment and kind of sets it on the the side table, and she puts her backpack on top of it. And you just notice that she kind of like glances over at you and like pulls that out and does that before getting undressed and getting ready for bed.
You ever like a questioning, like, what's that about? I feel like we're on that level now.
I got a note. I got a letter from the temple.
Boy, that was a long time ago.
A boot?
What was a long time ago?
I think we watched her get that note, but that was a long time ago.
It was before you left and got ambushed.
What's the note a boot? I'm a Canadian.
Lord of is a Canadian now because the Feywild is obviously Canada.
It's wild.
Okay.
No, it's kind of true. It's a magical place.
It's the Feywild is spelled with a Y now because it's French.
Wild.
The Feywild. That's more Scottish. It's a note from the temple. They're like recruiting for the Blood Moon Festival to have volunteers. It's bullshit. She goes over and starts washing up.
Is she paying attention to me?
Not really. I mean, not as much as you like. You don't think so.
I try to go look at the note.
The note says, it's about the festival. It has information about whatever's going on. It's pretty long-winded. It's pretty overwrought. Make me a investigation check.
Yeah.
I'll take that as well.
14.
I mean, it just seems overwrought, but that's what clerical temples probably do. There's some odd for you, especially from the Feywild and being from the pure elven race, it seems pretty slapshod note. Like, some of the letters have heavier ink. There's some splotches here and there, but it seems to be a pretty just overwrought letter about the Blood Moon Festival.
Alright.
And she tells you, she told you or tells you afterwards that came for her tonight. That was waiting for her when you guys got back.
Why does she seem so upset about it?
She doesn't really seem upset. She seems pretty...
She seems like annoyed about it.
Actively dismissive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just like, fuck these people.
Well, and you know that she tried to come to the temple and get help. Like, when she first got here, she's like, I need a place to stay. And they're like, all our rooms are full.
Yeah, so they're like, I needed your help, and now you need my help.
Like, right, now you're asking for volunteers? Fuck off. And that's even the way she's playing it, but it was very, I'm ready to say this type of thing.
What does that mean?
Like, she was ready to tell you, oh yeah, they're just asking for, like that. Please ask me so I can say something. Kind of feel.
Alright.
Yeah. But other than that, she's gonna go to sleep.
Alright, I'm gonna sit by the window and meditate.
I'm fucking sleeping. This is like the first time he's ever like, I don't care. There's no shifts.
Long rest. Long rest for everyone. Also, if you're following at home and you're on a web browser, you can see our characters off to the side. You can actually see, like, check on our status, do all that stuff, and you will see that the long rest just took effect and gave everyone its hit points back, all their spell slots, everything. It's pretty
see
cool.
The stupid names I give all my equipment.
Everyone has their gear. You have You are now attuned to the Cloak of the Manta Ray. You can store your last remaining key point into your new amulet.
Okay.
Ooh.
So she can now store key points as
What can you store in that thing?
2. It's
it
half
says
level.
half of my level rounded up.
So 2. So she stored 1. It does take a complete action, a full action to pull them out. So it's best if, like, after the fight and you don't know if you can rest again, you can pull them out.
I know, right?
But yeah.
Extra stunning strikes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, not yet. She's not that level yet. I may take it away from her before then.
It's gonna be
but
cool.
Who knows? She's an Astral Soul Monk, and at the end of the Astral Soul Monk tree, you will never have to worry about key points again in your life, so that magic object will become moot. But going there, because of how expensive, like, pulling your arms out are and all that stuff, I think this, like, accounts for that. But at the end, when Astral Soul Monks get to, like, 14, anytime they have 0 key points, they just get half their key points back. So they never don't have key points. It's kind of stupid. I also have a house rule about Stunning Strike, but she hasn't gotten it yet, so I'm not telling her about it yet.
What was that other house rule we were going to try out last time? It was about, what was it?
It was, we'll play that house rule if you can remember it.
No, you said you wanted to try it out. I'll think about it.
No, I think I know what it is, and I've completely forgot about it, but I know the video I got it from.
It's if you hear something, like a trap going off something, you have
click.
Click, yeah.
Yep, click. So, if you trigger a trap, if you fail to see it and all that stuff, I say click, and you can declare immediately, without conferring to anyone, not asking any questions, you can declare one action. One reaction, essentially, to the click.
Level
Declare it to the
monk.
click.
Shadow Monk Ninja.
How far did we make it with
10.
the Dragon
You guys
Ball?
were
We were
10.
10, right? Yeah, 12 is crazy. Even 10, a level 10 thief was fucking nuts.
So, yep, you meditate for your 4 hours, you sleep, you do all your things. Is there anything else you do, like, because these 2 are down, and there's 1 in each of your rooms, they're down for 8 hours. But you're only down for 4. So, I don't know if there's anything you want to do in that time between that, extra 2 and 2 hours, essentially, or 4 hours, depending on when you do your meditation.
This is just like the middle of the night.
It's middle of the night. It's dark out.
I definitely would have set up an alarm for our room.
Okay. I'm sure you do that beginning with.
But yeah, beginning so that during the rest I would get that spell slot back.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess I just kind of look out the window and watch the happenings in the darkness, see what's going on.
Lots of fog, and now lots of, like, tattered cloth.
Like,
just
what else do I have to do
flowing
but stare
through
out the window?
and meditate. So again, like, you have to store that before you do your long rest. So it's whatever or short rest. So it's whatever you bring to the table before you get the long rest is the key you can put in there, whatever you have left.
Yeah.
So 1 stored, you do your thing, you watch the window, all that stuff. It's the morning. Not much going on. You go downstairs, get some breakfast. Anything anyone wants to bring up or talk about in the morning?
I would like to get the loot sold, even though I run out of time here a little bit. I would probably mention Vic Grax to see if either of these Faerun weirdos know anything about that guy.
You're in Faerun. They're from the Feywild.
Feywild, excuse me. If you guys ever heard about Vic Grax? Nothing, no Vic Grax.
Nope. Not a name that rings any bells.
Yeah. So they're making a buck. We're going to need to talk to, I don't know, maybe at least give Britra the name Vikrax and explain the situation. Like that we know that it's going to be a basin somewhere in the sewers. It's going to happen during the Blood Moon Festival, probably for the entirety of it. A portal is going to open up. Whether the demons can find it or not is completely confirmed, but we did take away their anchor that we make it away.
Yeah.
However,
it's like a door. Like here, it's in a set place.
Yeah.
There, it's just along a river somewhere. They have no idea where that is. So it's the whole thing of, holy shit, we can get demons to come into a city in the Prime Material Plane, but we can't find it from our realm. We need someone to go over there and find it and send us a line through.
So I think it makes sense to at least warn the city about that, or at least the Cardinal Bond, so we can get paid for it, maybe. The other thing would be
How many days until the festival?
3. 2?
2 now, yeah.
2 now.
We might need to get people to guard the kedge anchor, because that's going to be the next thing they go for, or we might stand there as our first kind of like point of contact during the Blood Moon Festival.
We don't even. That's with Stormbreaker.
That's with Stormbreaker in the Blushing Mermaid in their catacombs where they store stuff. Now, I'm not saying that they couldn't go for it, and they're not going to, but you did take out a key leadership. But you can also, you'd have to pay for it, or find someone to pay for it, extra security on the anchor.
I just meant let them know where the kedge anchor is.
Right, like, and not even that, just as like, hey, this thing can open a portal to hell. Like, you need to defend this more. And that, whether you pay for it or someone pays for it, someone's going to have to pay for that extra security.
I'd like to at least tell Mizla about that.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, Mizla, you need to...
So you guys are talking through breakfast, and you guys probably slept in late, especially you and Maeve. Well, right around noon, it gets kind of busy in the Faded Sign as folk from the neighborhood come in for their lunch breaks. But a man walks in that you recognize, a tiefling man. That
I sold the coin to.
That you sold the coin to, played some dice with you. A red-skinned tiefling named Urzire. And he walks in and he looks around the room and he sees you and he's like, kind of waves and starts heading over to your table. And as he approaches, he's like, Orivar, is it?
Close enough.
May I sit? I don't want to disturb anything.
Please.
Pulls out a chair and he sits down. So, are these associates of yours? I'm sorry. I'm Urzire.
Laura Dove.
Hi, Laura Dove. Joradai. Eladrin, if I'm correct. Correct?
Close enough.
Yes.
That's what you guys are.
Jordan.
I was like, did you say your own name wrong?
Jordan. He says, Jordan.
I just heard your name, so I was like,
Yeah, Laura Dove. So he goes, I need to speak to you about a business transaction we had on the night we met.
I have many business transactions. Maybe you could narrow that down a little bit.
It was about a specific silver coin that you sold me.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, you didn't pay me enough for it. No, I'm just kidding. And what can I do for you in regards to this coin, this transaction that's already transpired?
Is it okay to speak in front of your associates? Oh, he also introduced himself to Maeve, who just timidly Yep, and Maeve.
They probably won't get it anyway, but of course it's okay to speak in front of them.
Okay, well, I took this back to my employer, and it turns out that those coins are demonic in nature.
You don't say.
And it's something that demons can hone in on. Have you... I mean, I don't want to tell your business. I don't know if you've gotten rid of them, but apparently it puts people in peril if they're around demons. They're kind of drawn to it.
I'm sorry about that.
We've been led to believe the same thing. We've had our own experience with issues surrounding these coins. Care to buy some more?
No, you should dispose of them all. My employer could take those off your hand and dispose of them correctly. If you have more.
I'm just kidding. No, you...
You just want to get money for him.
That's exactly what I want to get for him. I want to get money for him? Of course I do.
That's what he's trying to do.
So what I'm trying to do is, I was trying to sell them to him.
Yeah.
But if he's going to take them to dispose, that means that he's not going to give me anything for them. I couldn't even...
He may even charge you.
Yes, I was going to say.
That's what he's like.
Exactly
There's some wording, some vocabulary fighting going on here.
Yeah, you are. No, if there were more, I would have unloaded them by now anyway.
So, you mentioned that you took these off gnolls. Like the gnolls that have come down here charging from the east.
Mm-hmm.
This whole...
Down from the east?
Sorry.
Just...
From the east. And you know how I am with math, with the maps.
With math, too.
They
math,
come up
maps.
from the
Well,
north.
I'm better at math than him, so... And he's going to be teaching kids.
There'll be a book in front of him.
Alright, so... Yeah, he says. That stormed out of the east. Have you had any encounters with demons or the such? My employer may be quite interested in where these coins came from. If you have any inkling about what's going on with them.
Well, unlike disposing of coins, information isn't quite as free.
But this information may save lives.
Meh.
I am raising rodents.
Are you saying that you have encountered more?
Of course we have. We've been dealing with these coins more often than anyone else, I'd assume.
And maybe all the rumors about the Blood Moon Festival are true.
And what rumors have you heard of the Blood Moon Festival?
Oh, I'm sorry. Information isn't free.
But it might help somebody.
Oh, interesting. So, we both have a bartering tool.
Absolutely.
You first.
You first.
I just wanted to come warn you about these coins you have, but apparently you know everything you need to know about them. I could go back to my master at the upper city. I mean, we're pretty set.
No, this would be a silly exchange if there weren't anything past. We've encountered Noel in the Little Calchain. Is that where we ran into him? It's outside of Little Calchain.
What are you talking about right now?
No, when we went to go investigate Noel's, we ran into
The first or the second?
The Quasit and the...
Oh, that was way past that was outside the city.
Okay, so I'll tell him...
That was at...
I'll tell him about the Quasit and the pig that turned out being the Dretch.
Dretch.
So we have encountered those, and that... I'll stop there first.
You're not going to talk about the Fang of Yenogu and all that stuff?
Not yet.
All right. An actual demon, a Quasit, was here. And it knew your names.
Did it know our names?
It yelled at you. You said it yelled at you, kind of in the description. It didn't. You didn't say it yelled your names.
No, I'm just saying.
But that's what he said.
I'm trying to remember if it did use our names or not.
It did not
use our names. No. So then I'll say that I never said it said our names.
But it was after those coins. Yeah, it makes sense. Quasit. I'm actually here dealing with it. And the gnolls. No, but All right. Since we're exchanging information, yes, there could be an event coming up, which could be great interest to demons. It could allow them to cause great havoc.
Do you speak of a portal opening in a Blood Moon Festival?
Well, I didn't speak of that, but I am knowledgeable of such things. My master is very interested in that.
Does he know where it is?
Alas, he does not. He is needing that information so that he can secure it from the demons.
Who does this guy work for?
You don't know. You haven't asked
I
yet.
haven't asked him any of that stuff yet. I'm trying to get some information out of him for free before we start getting down the heavy stuff. Is he already...
You can talk without him saying anything. You can just throw something out there.
I mean, he's mentioned it like 4 times, so
Yep.
I'll just be like, who exactly do you work for?
Oh, I probably couldn't.
Is there someplace you'd rather go to speak of this?
Well, you seem to have some knowledge, and this knowledge may be of interest to my master. It may not. I'm here to suss that out. He is here to secure, the sanctuary of our realm against things that would come to it from other planes. If you think you have knowledge that can aid us, if you think you have skills or anything else that you've discovered along the way, he may be willing to pay for it. But
I mean, how can we be sure that you're not just looking to use it for what the demons are going to use it for?
Don't say that out loud. It's too late now.
What?
you can try to at her if you want. Roll an insight check over there.
I was going to say don't.
I thought we already just talked about
Hey.
that.
What are you talking about?
No. Just hold on. What's your
We're rolling against each other now.
No.
yes, you kind of are actually.
Okay, well,
What's your intelligence bonus?
0.
0. Okay. So roll a insight check. You use your
Spend inspiration.
Wow.
My bad.
leading that inspiration
My bad.
off.
10.
10. Okay, so you could see her about to say something like that, and if you want, you can at her.
Say it one more time what it was you were about to ask me.
I basically was just asking how can we be sure that he's going to use it for good
That
and
he's
not
not a
evil?
bad guy as well, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
That's what I was going to be like. Nah, before you say it, like, it's no one's business what we need this for.
In the middle of you saying it, you're like, it's no one.
In other
So,
words, don't be
yeah.
like, hey, are you a demon? Like, don't. We're not going to do that just yet.
Look at your features and traits real quick. I was going to remind everyone to do this beforehand, to re-look over what you can do and what your features and traits were.
Actually,
but,
when I'm bored, I look at Erebor. I'm like, hey, he's
I mean, yeah, that's usually just
And I
go
was
to
gonna
make
say,
her
I'm going to suggest something. We'll wait for Dayton to catch up.
no, that's fine. We're just going to go without him. You'll see it. You'll see the stuff you have. Listen and chime in if you have something to say. So you're about to say that, and he cuts you off like, it's not important,
So
blah, blah, blah.
Before we get much farther into this, perhaps we should go someplace a little more secure, like perhaps a room at the Blushing Mermaid.
Secure. No. My clients prefer to deal in the upper city.
So you have more than one client.
Who do you want to give it to?
My client.
No, I was talking about River de Graver wants to preemptively use his inspiration.
Oh,
You mean,
okay.
so who doesn't have
Are
inspiration?
you? So, do you want to give it to the next player role,
Or you can just give us...
or do you want to give it to the next my role?
Don't give it to him.
And
Trap.
and you have inspiration still?
I do.
Okay. So really, it's only these two down here, or Maeve.
Maeve has inspiration.
Yep, she does. Okay, so these two, or the DM.
So just the next roll, no matter who rolls next.
Primeval
Okay.
awareness.
Lawful neutral. Or pure neutral, I guess.
Primeval awareness.
You tell me.
Oh God.
So So, you can give it to anyone. Give it to someone specifically. We'll do it on the next roll that they do.
He says next roll no matter what. So if it's a
next roll,
if it's a
okay.
Is it if we need it, or are you just?
No, he said next roll no matter what,
Right.
and I think that's an awesome thing to do.
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm allowing that.
Thank you.
So the next roll gets, whether it's my roll or whether it's their roll, the next roll
chaotic neutral
gets it. Thank you
Pure
for
neutral,
showing up. And I have one last question. If you're still here, is our audio still synced up with our video? Like, if I snap my fingers, is it still linked up? So.
Maybe it's my primeval awareness.
Okay.
Drug dealing monkey says the audio is still synced.
Thank you. Our videos have been uploaded, and they go completely out of whack. It's weird.
Either,
But I changed some mic settings. All right, Jordan, let's go through this. So you're over there using Primal Voice. You said that. What was your next question?
Me?
Yes.
It was to try to get them to go.
Yeah. Sorry. He was saying. Okay. Good. Thank you.
All right.
He was saying that no, he's not going to deal in the lower city. Remember, when you first met him, he was slumming it here.
Well, I get it.
So he wants, like, if you meet his client, you're going to meet him in the upper city, which is an ordeal.
I didn't realize he was trying to get us to meet his client. I was trying to say, if you want to say this client's name or talk to me a little bit more.
He's here as the in-between to this client.
Gotcha.
And he's trying to suss out if it's worth the effort of getting you guys to the upper city to discuss this.
Then I would probably say that I don't generally meet. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep.
You're stopping me. So.
Nope. Go.
So I don't generally meet with people I meet through intermediaries, if that makes sense. Like, I don't go see someone on someone else's word without at least knowing their name or a little bit about them.
Oh, he is the artifacts.
Artifacts?
Oh, sorry, you don't know anything about them, so.
Artifacts.
That's what he said.
He just doesn't know how to say artifacts.
So this is what you're getting. You have to spend a spell slot to do that.
Which I already have.
Okay. You spend as first level?
Yeah.
Okay. So within a mile of you, and you can't tell direction or how close they are,
No.
you know that there is an aberration or aberrations. There are no celestials. There are no dragons. There are elementals. There are fae. There are fiends. And there are undead.
There's fucking undead within a mile. I don't know any of this.
Yep.
Sorry.
This,
You're not saying that.
welcome to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
There's a problem with like all these cool things. Like this really works outside of a city.
Yeah.
But you don't know. Like there are fiends.
I'm
though.
super
That's-
glad that I don't
that's
have
the-
that power.
That's the specific thing I'm assuming that you were looking for.
He
But
can't-
within a mile,
He can't detect anything except that there are.
There are,
They
but-
exist.
she has detect evil. You know she has this. So at least that can arouse suspicion for him to start asking deeper questions or asking her to cast the spell. The problem is that the spell is obvious.
Yeah.
You can't have her just cast at the table without him knowing.
So that would be something you would need to kind of skinny them. I can't. I don't really do
Yeah.
that. I'm kind of locked.
So you're
in-
still talking
we're-
to him.
I'll say we're locked in
So
battle of
aberrations.
tongues.
Aberrations.
Celestials.
Nope.
No. Aberrations.
No celestials. No dragons. Elementals.
Elementals.
Fae. Fiends. Undead.
But Fae would be like everywhere around here, wouldn't they? In the Feywild?
You're not in the Feywild.
Feyrunes, yeah, sorry.
You're in Faerun,
Faerun.
which is the continent's name. The Forgotten Realms is the world's name. Toril, actually, Forgotten Realms is the setting. Toril is the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Faerun is your continent. Sword Coast is your region.
Gotcha.
But within a mile of you, you have aberrations, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. The only things you're missing are dragons and celestials. So, the good ones.
Yeah, right.
Well, the dragons aren't great, but...
This is I'll talk about it later.
Angels.
Oh, okay.
So if you say fiends to mean demons and devils, celestials are the good side.
Gotcha.
Lawful good, neutral good. Lawful good? Neutral good? Chaotic good.
Gotcha. Okay. Coolio.
There's, angels, archons, and something else. I can't remember their names. So you're in the things like, yep, the artifacts. He's my employer, and he's here to safeguard this realm against
It's good.
incursions, so to speak.
Sorry.
But I mean, I can't waste his time with anyone that thinks they have dealt with a demon, devil, or apparition from another world. I have to know that this is real and that you have something to bring to this. So you know something about a portal that may open up on this blood moon night.
Give me a moment to confer with my party, see if maybe they've seen something I've missed, or if they're not telling me everything as well before we travel and present ourselves in
Allie Mae!
Allie Mae!
Allie Mae!
Would you give me a moment to confer, just to make sure?
Absolutely. Well, excuse myself. Do you guys want drinks? I'll go up to the bar and get you
I
drinks.
always want drinks.
Excellent. All right, of course. And he pulls his chair up and he pushes it back in and heads up to the...
Alright, so I'll tell you guys right now that this guy is... Whether you see it or not, we're negotiating.
White claws!
We're negotiating basically, like, he's trying to get us to come see his boss. And I'm basically telling him, I don't really want to go see your boss, what's in it for us. And he's kind of saying, like, we'll trade information, we'll buy information, that kind of stuff. Sort of.
He's trying to determine... So he's a civ.
Hi, Jared.
What's up? He's a civ. He's trying to determine if you're worth his boss's time.
Yeah.
He's trying to... Like, you're getting the thing, he's trying to put that the fact his boss is someone up there. It could be a bluff, and that he's just fleecing you, or it could be that this is truly someone that's important and powerful.
I could say, like, we might be able to make some cash out of this, but we might also be bringing a third party that's kind of an unknown into this, like, what we know. One way or the other, this guy knows we know something, because they came and sought us out. So they obviously know that we're mixed up in this somehow, because I sold him that coin, basically.
Yeah, he already did that. Maeve also says, hey, we could be out of our league, and this could be someone that should know this information.
Yeah.
But to go back to that, Urzire just randomly came in here and was dicing with you, and you sold him that coin.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be interested.
So, what do you guys think?
Well, this one obviously was getting the information that I know that, like, there's these certain things
Within a mile of you.
the mile.
Actually,
so,
it could be up to 6 miles, because you are on a coast.
Oh shit!
Wow. So,
But I can't tell exactly
If it's close or far, you can't tell any of that.
Maeve, are you able to tell if this person is evil or not?
I can cast my detect evil.
How much time and space would you need?
I mean, it's obvious, but if no one's looking, I mean, I guess it's not that obvious. Do you want to distract or something?
I can do that. I'll come up to the... I got a big distraction, actually, yeah. I can always meet him at the bar and talk him up for a minute.
Okay.
And that give you enough time.
And she's even said, like, but anyone else would know. Like, I don't know if we're concerned about anyone else in the place, but, once I detect evil, I can move around and tell.
Is
Like,
she able to, like, go to the room and do it?
yeah, absolutely. You can go up to the room.
What do you guys think? Seems like the best plan to me. Like,
I mean, I could just go
Yeah.
up. I can just go up half the stairs and
You
do
just
it, and no one
excuse
would notice me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So you separate yourself. I'll distract for a moment.
Yeah, when he comes back with the drinks, I'll just say I have to use the facilities.
There you go.
And I'll go cast a spell.
All right. That sounds good to me. What do you guys think? Let's do it now. We did it.
Oh my god.
So I'll distract him. We'll do some more back and forth about.
No, he comes back with all your drinks. He's like, "Is that enough time, or am I intruding?"
We're coming to a consensus, but this feels like this is good. Blah blah blah. Money,
So he sets all the drinks down, continues to talk with you, and Maeve's like, "I'm sorry, I'll be right back. I have to go to my room." And she heads off.
Oh wait, shit! Before she does that, she and I should come up with some sort of like double wink if he is evil, or like a nose scratch if he's not, or something like that.
Roll an insight check. Do not do this with advantage. It's kind of a throwaway roll.
That's okay. That'll be fun. 22.
Okay. She says she comes up with a signal to you, and it's Thieves' Cant.
What?
It's a signal that's in Thieves' Cant.
All right,
like
gotcha.
she's like, I'll just do this.
I gotta talk to that girl a little more.
This cleric.
Yeah.
So she's like, yeah, I'll just do that. And so he comes back, says that. She says she excuses herself and heads up the stairs. So he comes back and sits down. Good, great. What's the consensus? And you start bullshitting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're bullshitting. Oh, we've been talking about this.
So, she goes up, casts her spell as you're bullshitting. She comes back down. She kind of does this super awkward, but not awkward because it's Maeve. Like, just kind of like she walks back down, and turns around in the room and comes over to you guys, and she sits down and she gives you the all clear signal.
Oh, this guy's not evil.
Well, he's not. So first off, let's define that. He is not a fiend or a celestial or a fae. He's not a creature that is intrinsically evil.
Gotcha.
He is not a shape-shifted demon or anything like that. And in her range of detect, there isn't any of those things.
So this would be the same. So like when I say evil, I don't mean like Kamir. Like if Kamir had ill intentions, nobody would be.
It would never show up on that spell.
Well, then I think that we should go with him. Well, yeah, of course we'd love to take your offer and meet your master.
Sounds fun.
One way or the other.
Well, I have to know that you actually have something to offer here.
I can tell you that we've uncovered a plot, a means, and a person involved.
A plot and a means and a person involved for what?
With opening a portal.
Wait, are you saying that you may know of the people in league with the demons trying to open this portal?
We have had interactions with them, yes. Is that what we have? Yeah, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, well, the Huffers are absolutely
That's what I
those
said.
things.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Okay. Just making sure I'm not like bullshit.
And he didn't know that. He didn't know any of that. So like, that was a fucking ace up your sleeve that you just threw this guy, and he's like, well, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, I don't know what else to tell him.
Yeah. No, you should. Can you meet tonight?
Can we meet tonight, fellas and woman?
I mean, we are getting close to the eve of the blood moon.
Yeah, sure, we can meet tonight.
I ain't got nothing to do.
This ain't even my whole day.
So, he pulls out a little folded piece of paper and he writes some things into it, and pull out a quill ink pot, and hands it over. And he goes, "This should get you past the gate. Let's say 2 bells before sundown. Should give us enough time."
Okay.
Real quick, you know that unless you have a specific writ, token, or something that says you belong in the upper city, you cannot stay there after sundown. The watch, not the Flaming Fist, the watch goes through the streets and clears everyone out.
So maybe I should mention to him that we could probably use lodging while we're up there in case this goes into the eve.
It's something like I can't secure for you, but you could discuss that with
artifacts.
The artifacts.
All right. The artifacts, excuse me.
The artifacts.
All right. Sounds good. We'll see you then, or we'll see him then.
All right, and he heads out the door. Yeah. You guys are going to the upper city.
Since we have some time today, why don't we get rid of this stuff too, since we've been doing a lot of bookkeeping anyway.
Okay. Whatever it is, we'll do that between session. You just send me everything that you're selling on the Discord channel, and I will send back the money, and if we need to make a roll, we'll just do that over the Discord channel. Right. So it's not taking up space on the channel, on the stream.
Right.
Because, like, none of you're keeping all the magic items, so it's just the mundane shit.
We might be getting to that long sword. Nobody has any.
Yeah, that's true. We'll get to that. So, you guys head to, after the day, you go out and sell stuff, come back, do all your stuff, get prepared 2 bells before sundown. You head to Baldur's Gate, the actual gate that this entire city is named after. It is what takes you from...
So Baldur's Gate is the upper city, or we're heading through Baldur's Gate?
You're heading through Baldur's Gate to the upper city. It takes you from... so you're in Eastway. That's where the faded sign is, right on the edge. And then you go to Heapside, which is where the Blessing Mermaid is. And head over. You actually kind of have to head down to the steeps. That's where... all the way down the bottom of the steeps to the bay is where you found the hideout. But at the top of the steeps is Baldur's Gate.
Is this original Diablo music?
Yes. Baldur's Gate is like the original gate that separated the upper city from everything outside of it before another set of walls were set up. And the Watch is notoriously stingy about letting anyone through here. It is not the 3 copper tithe or fee that is through all the other gates on the outside. Whether they enforce a fee that will even get you in is random. You have to have something that'll get you in. And that little note he gave you seems legit, but you two have your diplomatic papers. And Maeve has her symbol of Timora, and their temple is in Upper City. So, like, the 3 of you can, on your own, get through here.
Only I.
But,
need the note.
How do you want to get through here? How do you want to be seen getting through here? Do you want to present your diplomatic papers, or do you want to try to see if that writ gets you through altogether?
Say we see if that can
I was
get
going to
us
say,
through
this is
first.
going to sound silly, but we might be able to split the party here so that we're not seen going together. So I know the Artifacts and Urzai are expecting this, but if you guys go in, Maeve goes in, I come later, then later if we have to escape or do something different, the guards won't see us as a group. Because if you guys can just get in, you might as well just go get in.
Yeah.
Go get in, you guys go get in, then I'll go get in, that kind of stuff. That way, even the guards haven't seen us as a group yet.
So it's you two and you and Maeve?
And me.
Or do you want to even split it 3 ways and have Maeve do her
I think
own?
he was saying Maeve go in by herself, us 2 go in together, and then he go in.
Like, if you guys have ways to get in and stuff, but I don't want to split us that much if we don't have to. That's just the plan I was running by.
Why don't you just go with me?
That's fine.
Alright, let's split it in half then. You guys go first and we'll go right after. Maybe like...
But do you want to get in with the writ that Urzai gave you, or do you want to get in with Maeve?
Would Maeve's be able to take me in?
She's like, they kicked me right out. Like, I can't guarantee anything when I go through that gate.
We'll go on by writ with Maeve, so that...
What if we...
I mean, I could probably get through the gate, but I'm not going to have a pass for the night.
I get that. I'm just saying that we don't have to do this. I'm just saying at any point we get caught or do anything, we won't necessarily be associated together by the guard immediately.
Right. And it's just a question of, they have their diplomatic writs together. Do you and Maeve want to go together on a single try, or do you want to split it? And whose try are you going to give it on?
Let's send her first. Like, you guys go in, we'll send her first. If she gets in, that's great. If she doesn't, then I'll come up and act huffy-puffy with my writ and get us in.
Okay. That's good. So you guys go up, you show your diplomatic liaison papers. They're like, "Oh, right, come on. You have accommodations for the night. Do you need a token?"
We'll take a token.
Right. So they hand you 2 of these coin wooden token things, and you head in. Maeve goes up next, and she's not. Doesn't look like she's getting in.
No. And I'll sneak up. I'm not sneak up behind her.
Yeah.
Walk behind her and be like, "Excuse me. She's with us. She's with me, I should say."
So I'm arbitrating this deal with them. I told you this. She tries to say in a more pompous accent.
Foolish. We already have.
Make me an
entrance.
insight.
A lot of insight tonight.
Sorry.
It's okay. No. 20. Unnatural 20.
She does not want to go in here.
Maybe that's what I'm going?
No. Like, you've seen her play a part or lie before. She's not doing well. Like, she's kind of jittery. She's kind of on edge. She doesn't want to go into the upper city. But you come in, you flash the paperwork. They look like, oh, right. Okay, right to the bottom of Temples. Down West Lane. Try not to stray too much.
So we're all through.
You're all through.
Can I kind of be like, ask Maeve why she's so...
You didn't see that.
No,
you were
no,
already
so
through.
Does everybody know where we're headed before?
Yes, everyone knows. Like, you gave them directions.
So
It was on the
way
road.
down there.
Okay. So the upper city is a stark contrast to the lower city. You guys could pass back and forth because you had that writ, but you were staying in the lower city. You have maybe been up here once, Erevar.
Okay.
It is such a drastic change. Like the crowded, dirty, clouded undercity or lower city, and you walk through those gates and the air smells fresher. The lights on the road are all magical. Everything is more spacious, open. The mansions are not independent on huge real estate because there just isn't real estate here, but they are like row houses that are mansions on their own. They're like this trellised gardens and trees growing up their sides flat. It is immaculate. You're going right into almost the Temple District, which does have some pretty open promenades with statues and fountains. There are even magical planters that have growing flowers, and they repel the smog and the fog from the lower city. This is just a complete dichotomy, like you were going from the Shadowfell to the Feywild for you guys. Like, we went to the Dregs, or actually from the Prime Material to the Feywild, since you're so removed and the Feywild is so spectacular. It's the dredges of the Prime Material plane to this immaculate, fantastical place. Another,
No lime, I'm guessing.
I don't care. I like lime.
I said they're just the limes are all on the top for some reason. It's just what I can reach.
I'm okay with it. So, as you're heading through here, you're going to try to just beeline it to the place. Walking through, there's stalls, there's vendors. All of these are permanent. None of them are like, people sitting out in carpets or anything like that. Manor houses in rows across the side with their hanging gardens and trellises and everything. You walk through the Temples District, which has the Temple to Tymora, the High Hall, the Hall of Wonders to Gond, which made all the cranes and all that kind of stuff. It's like, for you, this is like you just stepped into heaven. For you guys, it's almost a little bit like home, because this is what you're used to, something more upwards.
Just reminded that guy from Elder Scrolls. Do you make it to the Cloud District? What am I saying? Of course you don't.
It's really just night and day when you walk through that gate and you realize why they have their own security. why they enforce their things and why the lower city is in such unrest. Because, like, right there's a bunch of rich assholes making money off of them and living like this, where they don't know if they're going to get murdered tonight or not.
Yeah.
So you make your way to the South Temples right before Manor Born, and walking down the street that it says that this is, and you find the Grey Manor. The Grey Manor is where Urzire said the artifacts was lodging. The Grey Manor is named such because it has a lot of granite, a lot of stone outside its gates. Its trellises don't have vines or living things going up them. They are actually just stoneworks that have been created on the sides of them. It looks very placed, like just
Is this area within the mile that Jordarai originally detected? Have we gone a mile or more?
almost the entirety of Baldur's Gate is within a mile.
Okay, that was.
And technically, what I detected.
Could have been like the entire.
And it was
city.
yeah.
6 miles.
So
Oh, that's right.
what's
It was on the coast.
so here's 1 mile. Oh, sorry, on this thing. So here's 1 mile, here to here, on this thing.
Oh, so yeah.
So yeah,
pretty much.
like this is one. Sorry, where is it? This is 1 mile. You guys were here, so it is the entirety of Baldur's Gate
Gotcha.
that you were getting. Some like a couple of the districts of the outer city weren't included, but yeah, that's right.
I was like, we're only a couple minutes after make it.
So you guys are stepping up to the Grey Manor. It is set in stone. Like this place isn't everywhere else we saw immaculate gardens and flowers and statues and waterworks going on outside. This is just stone. It's trellises, it's lattice works, it's like roses are all stone on the thing. It's just made out of stone and placed here to be like a permanent. This is always a beautiful facade, but it's never living. So it'll last through time. You walk up, the gates are open. There's actually there's a gate, but there's no doors to the gate. There's no locking or latching. It's just an archway. Now when you walk in, there's no guards outside or anything like that. You can just walk right up to this estate. And these are row house estates and the old Renaissance, just down a street of that big immaculate thing. So off to left and right, there's little yards and things, but then there's big wrought iron fences on foundations of stone to delineate the property to the next mansion to it. I'll have to have him do this, but to you, this is the crowded human world. These are still pretty impressive estates, but nothing like you would see back in the day. But you walk up and there's a door in front of you. It's a double door, nice wood with a granite strike plate with a big bronze handles coming out of it. There are no door knockers. There is a bell pull next to it, though.
And we're expected here, right?
Correct.
All right, let's inspect the bell for traps. We'll pull the bell.
So the ground underneath you opens up and you just fall down. Nope. So the bell rings.
I thought when you did it, I was like, that's the click. That's the
click, click. I jump. I run. No, the bell rings. The door is opened by Urzire. You made it. Excellent. Please come in. Come in.
1 second thought. I'm kidding. Yeah, we'll go in.
You head in, and there's a nice little foyer. Some sitting benches, all this stuff like that. Perceptions.
All around?
Yeah, all around.
Alright.
The super dark dice. They look cool though.
And they're super cool. If I do say so myself.
Mm-hmm.
I like the pirate theme. Gold and black.
They look really good. 17.
18.
18.
Alright, so this place looks sterile. There are things placed here, you know, the busts, the statues, the tables, the chairs, the ottomans, whatever's around here is not used. It's not a lived-in house. They've been placed here, they're nearly brand new, and they have just enough clutter and dust on them to be only cleaned, you know, once a week, once a month type of thing. So this place isn't a lived-in home. You are taken through the foyer, off to the left into the study, and then right off of that into the library. And the library has shelves of books which aren't cleaned enough. Again, just are stacked here and put here for show. This isn't a lived-in place, but the desk in front of you and the end of this place seems to have had a lot of traffic, and there's lots of stacks of stuff in and around. It's still clean, it's still tidy, but there's new stuff here. Stuff that's like, oh, that just isn't sitting here as a decoration like everything else on this desk. So there's a big, impressive wood-carved, felt-lined in the front, the pin cushion, not the pin cushion, the button-tufted front of it, crest, wood desk, with a calligraphy set and some books stacked up and all these things, a couple papers in the front. When you walk in, bookshelves and all that, the old dusty, or not, it's not old dusty, but just not used. But that desk has been used. The in and out of this place has been used. There's a man behind it. He's in kind of grayish robes, hood pulled back so it kind of forms a big collar around him. Distinguished, gray hair at the edges. It was probably black, dark at some point, but it's starting to fade now. And he's sitting there, nose in papers. Urzire walks you in. To your left are two kind of just big, you call them goons, you call them servants. They're just two dudes. They're in black livery. There's the big tailed coats and pants. And on the floor next to them is this pretty big, like 6 foot long wood, very nice lacquered wood box. Kind of like this, but dark wood. And then there's all this metal at the end of it with some cranks and other things like capped on the end. Lattice works of metal and wrought iron with a crank on one side. Just this thing just sitting over there. And it's between these two guys that are just like, look up at you. Almost seem to size you up because, they're probably this guy's servant / protection. And the artifacts, you assume, doesn't even look up at you as you walk towards him until Urzire announces, Sir, the mercenaries of the Cardinal Bond that I said may have information for you. Yes. He takes little thin-rimmed glasses and pulls them off, sets them gingerly down onto a little felt
Are they purple
thing.
with blinders?
They're not.
No, I'm just kidding.
They're little reading glasses.
Mhm.
I mean, to have glasses at all is pretty impressive. Sets those down. Ah, yes. The Cardinal Bond folk. Good guild, good guild. I've heard what you've done up in Waterdeep.
Mhm. We didn't do that, did we?
No.
Okay.
I mean, your mercenary company is
Absolutely.
all over the place.
Well, you have
Please,
to-
have a seat. More seats. I think we need more seats. He's looking around like there's more than
Two
three
people, yeah.
people in this room, and the two big guys they go to the corners and grab dusty old chairs that have been sitting there for a little bit. Set down two more in front of his desk, so that all four of you can sit. Yeah. So you are face to face with the artifacts.
Alright.
We're gonna call it here.
Yeah, let's call it here, because I'm starting to figure
Yeah.
out.
So you're face to face with the artifacts. That's where we're gonna call it, and hopefully we'll eventually get through this.
Yeah. Eventually get through this.
Like, this was all of my episode 7 notes, and you got to here.
Jeez.
So
We beat our head against a couple things.
no, and you actually gained a whole lot more knowledge than I was anticipating you were getting, because you asked some great questions. You interacted some great ways.
We're getting better
So.
at this.
There's things like
It was a diplomacy round today. Yes.
it was a diplomacy round. For you,
Raver, we didn't actually have another roll. Oh, we did roll, but we didn't use any.
they were great.
Yeah.
We're gonna roll that over. So Raver, next week, the first important roll is going to be the Raver to the Graver roll.
Well, even if you're not here, we'll
Even if
call
not
it out.
here.
Like,
Nope.
the Raver to the Graver roll.
You already have it. It's going to be like the first combat or really important roll is going to be your roll next week. You guys got some great information. You got more information than I was getting. You got some information that was outlying, but could be important later on. There was something else that you got, and I can't remember what it was. Anyway, thoughts, feelings, everything. This was a pretty slow episode. No combat,
That's what
no
happens.
nothing.
Sometimes, you gotta talk. You gotta figure out what you're doing next. It happens. I enjoyed it. That was different.
It's a learning experience for me.
Learning.
Less fighting, more talking. But I feel
And-
like I get a little bit more brazen every time with just asking questions.
You did figure out some more things, ask that more, but it kind of sucks if you have an entire session without at least a little bit of conflict, because you kind of want to structure every session with the, boring action
I was just saying that
resolution type of thing.
there would always be some
Right.
some buying, some selling, some fighting, some talking, some role playing. That kind of stuff just happens. But every now and then,
This got dragged out.
Yeah, it happens. We still did. We had to do it. It was going to have to get done one way or the other. It just
I
happened.
feel like
to
we
be
do
together.
that, we do two pretty intense, and then we do one more kind of like.
Like
Wish
last
I got
session was, you guys spent a lot of time walking through the outer city, just getting into the town and talking to Britra, and then the entirety of the rest of the session was that combat out in the street.
Yeah.
So, and we only have 3 hours,
Yeah.
and combat does take a lot of time.
It's true.
So, if I put any combats, it could be the entire session.
That's how Wiley feels. He prefers RP to combat, especially in 5e. I think.
I love RP, but combat is also fun when you're in a group like us, where it's all, theater of the mind's eye, where it's you discussing where you're fighting, where you're doing. It's just that at a normal game, we'd have a 5 to 6 hour session.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we could always have that, like a 3 hour session, we do what we gotta do, but it has to be much tighter and much more okay with an all RP or an all fight.
Yeah.
There's been games where you guys were falling out of a tower, and that was the entirety of the game.
That one was like one
fight
session was a single fight. Yeah. Oh, we were falling the whole time too. That was the nutty part.
So that's the way it goes because time slows down. It's bullet time. Like when you're in a fight, it's okay. What do you do?
So
what do you do? You fight this. You fight that. I hit here, and it's 5, 10, 15 minutes for everyone's action. As you get it, you resolve it. You do it next round.
That rogue did some of his best work while we were falling.
Throwing blankets and shit. I've had 2, 3, 4 sessions with all RP. If you go back in our history, you see Robert and you see Galen. Mm-hmm. I had a game with just those two, and it would be session after session after session of pure RP craziness, and then an epic battle where they're doing crazy stupid stuff against some crazy enemies. It was pretty cool. Unfortunately, it wasn't filmed.
Well, you didn't film it.
I mean, this was years ago. But it influences my Forgotten Realms. All the games I run in Forgotten Realms are consistent. I've been running Forgotten Realms for a long time, and everything that happens in my Forgotten Realms continues to happen, and I adjust the game. That's why there's some weirdities to what's going on. And this is the first game that I've played with you guys that I'm heavily using one of my things, like one of the things I did to the realms, and you haven't, you don't know because you don't know Forgotten Realms, like you haven't seen it yet, but it'll be interesting to see that come out. Any other discussions? Any other wants, needs, desires?
Money.
Or just what you want to see, what you didn't like, what you did like.
No, I didn't have anything disliked about it. I get frustrated when I can't ask the right question, but that's not my fault. Or not your fault, sorry.
That was my one thing, is I felt like there were definitely parts where my character should have known better questions to ask, but in my mind I'm just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to ask. So it was frustrating to me.
I have to say that you guys hit everything that I wrote down as information to give, plus more. You asked some questions that were completely outside. The only time I was kind of thrown for a loop is when I would say, it happened 2 times with Arya and with Urzire. I kept saying my master, my client, my whatever, my this, and you wouldn't question who that is. You wouldn't try to ask, who are you working for then? Whether they give it to you or not. If someone is dealing with you and saying, oh, my client, okay, well, who do you want?
Yeah.
Who are you working for?
That's actually what happened when we were doing the interrogation. I heard her ask Arya, hey, who do you work for? And that sort of stuff. And I was like, I didn't ask Helena who she works for. Yeah.
And for you, it didn't pan out at all.
Yeah.
But, for you, that's a big deal. You're working for a dragon. Not only any dragon, a blue dragon, who they're evil. The chromatics are evil. Red, blue, green, black, and white. They're intrinsically evil. So, however that determines what you guys go forward, you just know that she's working for an evil dragon. She's underneath it, whether she's evil or not. But, obviously, this is all for a monetary gain cause for her. And she will go to certain lengths of ignoring
society or law to get to it.
Yeah. And you don't know what her level of comfort is with that. Obviously, if she could do it herself, she'd do it. Having you guys around could be some plausible deniability in that, and that's why she's I work for an evil dragon. I'm not an evil person, but now these people are indebted to me and I need to get shit done. So that could be an interesting dynamic. Who knows how your life and dealing with her is gonna go. So yeah, good RP. We'll I don't know, maybe get to the conclusion of this next week.
Alright.
Take us out, Dayton.
This has been another episode of the Cardinal Bond on Wileyverse here on Twitch. We'll be back next Wednesday. Hopefully.
I think everyone's here.
9:30 Pacific right now for at least another half month or so.
9:30 Arizona.
Yeah, 9:30 Arizona time.
If you want to get technical about it.
Thanks for everyone that came out. Lord and Savior Ace, Drug Dealing Monkey, Raver to the Graver,
Allie Mae.
I feel like there was another one in there that we missed out. Tabletop was here.
Tabletop of course, stop by.
Arizona time is the best time because it doesn't do.
We don't change.
We don't change.
It's all the time.
We are GMT -7 all the time. Everyone else, I have a friend that came from back east and he curses us. He thinks we're the most back-assward people. I'm like, I never have to remember any time zone ever.
So it's like, set your clocks ahead, like everyone gets to come in late or fuck everything up.
Oh, I could tell you, you're not going to like it. But
know why Indiana decided to change after not changing for so long?
No, why daylight saving time is
no,
a
that's
thing.
fine, but he's talking about Indiana.
Oh, Indiana.
Used to not change, and now they do.
No, there's another. We used to be the only state. I think Hawaii changed to not change. So Hawaii is now another state that doesn't change. But they're so offline. Like, I was surprised at how far off they are from us. Like, it's like 2 or 3 hours from Pacific time out to Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're out. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Did our stream? Is our audio still with the
Are we still
stream? Are we still syncing with the audio? Okay. We're waiting for it.
Already.
We're waiting for it.
It's all.
Thank you.
Right.
Cool. See you next week.